Hey guys, can you hear me? Can you please type yes? Oh, okay. Hey guys, good morning. If you are joining this from US, good evening. If you are joining this from India, I'm super excited to have this live session after a long time, and I'm also super excited to share some good information that I'm going to share while this live is happening. So if you have any questions, please put it in the live section here. I'll try my best to answer whatever questions you have related to the DevOps or cloud, anything that is related to your career with respect to DevOps. Okay, so if anybody is interested to come online or come on live, and this is the first time I'm trying this StreamYard, you can let me know. I can provide the link here, and you can join directly and ask me a question if you want to join live. But please be precise with your question. Okay, so with that, I'm going to I'm going to take the first question from Harshvardhan. So, is DevOps career stressful? It depends on where you are, to which company you are joining, or where you are joining. Harsha, like for example, let's say if a company is hiring you as an ops engineer, it might be a little stressful. But let's say if the company is hiring you as a proper DevOps engineer as part of their transformation, then it may not be that stressful. So it really depends on which part of DevOps you're working. For example, a lot of companies hire engineers and make them to work on the operation side more, on the support side more. So be very careful when you're looking for the opportunity, and read the description very carefully before you take the job. Okay, so I'm gonna take the next question. So Ramna Reddy is asking, DevOps role needs coding. So I have addressed this in one of my video. Ramna, basically you have to have some basic coding skills, like coding, especially with the shell scripting, especially with Python basic coding, because the tasks that are there in the DevOps these days, you have to automate a lot of things with the tools. Sometimes it is just that you can get away with understanding of how you can code with the Terraform, Terraform DSL, or you can use the Ansible. You don't have to code a lot, but on top of it, they will also ask you to code with the custom tasks that are required for the integration. So that's where you might have to know coding. All right, so I'm going to take more questions for freshers jobs on DevOps. So freshers, it's a little tricky situation, because when you try for a DevOps engineer, they would ask you for the experience. Most of the time they will ask you for experience. But having said that, I know a lot of companies these days, they're also looking for DevOps engineer from the company as well, because one, you can pay less obviously when compared to an experienced person. So if you are a fresher and if you are coming into the market for DevOps jobs, I highly recommend that you prepare yourself with the basic DevOps roadmap that I've shared. If it is too exhaustive, at least try to get the basics, fundamentals of DevOps tools, and all those Linux, and some sort of coding, some basic coding. So that will help you even as a fresher. So there are companies who are looking for DevOps freshers. So please, don't feel bad that you don't have experience. You can still try out for the DevOps role as a fresher. The chat is going very fast. It's been a long time since I had this live, so I'm trying to catch up with the questions here. If I'm not able to answer your question, please repeat it again in the comment section here. Okay, so the next question I'm going to randomly pick here is career switch roadmap from Oracle DBA to DevOps. So it's not going to be anything any different from a different technology. Like I have done it myself, and it's the same roadmap that you have to follow. So it's going to be the tools. It's going to be the same like programming languages that you have to learn if you're coming from a different background. But the important thing is that I think I have addressed this one of in one video is whenever you are learning DevOps, think that cloud is going to be part of the DevOps as well. So please don't treat cloud as a different thing, and don't go to the interview just by learning some tools, because you will definitely be asked about the cloud. At least having one cloud will help you a lot when you're facing interviews for DevOps. I hope I have answered that. Let's move on. Hi Arvind, I'm learning Azure from 3 months on online course. Actually, I want real experience. Is there any good link which will help me to? Okay, so this is the common question that a lot of you people have. You learn courses through different trainings that are available online, but what is important when you are facing the interview is how can you actually know what is happening, or how would you understand how does a real DevOps engineer work in a company. So for that there are a couple of ways. One trick that you can follow is that you can go through the glass door and understand what are the interview questions that are commonly asked in the DevOps role, and that you can find easily. So you go to any specific company or you go to the glass door, sign up yourself, and you will see what questions that are being asked. And the other way is that you can ask your friends. Obviously you can ask me, you can ask colleagues in LinkedIn. So go to LinkedIn, search for DevOps professionals in LinkedIn, and if you see anybody there, please try to ask them. It's no problem in asking or posting a message to them about what do they do in their in their day-to-day job. And the third way is going into the YouTube channels of different DevOps professionals and see their day-to-day videos. Like sometimes they create what do they do as a DevOps engineer at work. So these three ways, if you cover, I mean, these three things that if you cover before you go to an interview, you'll pretty much get a feel like what questions are asked or what DevOps engineers do in their at their work. Um, if not, this happened to me also when I attended my first interview as an engineer. I could not crack that, but I got the feel that what kind of questions or what they're expecting. And most importantly, the hints are always left in the job description. So be very careful or thorough with the job description. Okay, so let's move on. So Sridevi is asking this: how are tasks assigned in DevOps team? Should everyone know all the tools? Say, for example, if one is good in VPC and Jenkins, is it okay to start as a DevOps team? So how tasks are assigned is similar to how tasks are assigned to any other engineer. Each company follow their own tools and methods to assign tasks. Like for example, the startup companies, they might not use an enterprise tools like Jira or Confluence. They might have a easier Google Sheets way of assigning the tasks. Or if most of the companies, they use Jira or Rally and all these tools to assign the tasks to DevOps engineers. um, and the tools that are used most often are the ones that support the agile methodology, because like I've said, DevOps and agile are the most important thing. They go hand in hand. So if a company is using these tools, they will assign specific tasks to DevOps engineer, what they're supposed to do as part of this whole automation. And you take up the task, you complete that, and you mark it there. And when a DevOps engineer is working in a team, you'd also see tasks related to the cloud as well. So when, like I've said again, when you are hired as a DevOps engineer, you are hired not only to work on a tool, but you are hired to do certain cloud tasks as well. So if you know Jenkins, it's a good thing. But obviously you have to know more than Jenkins. You have to know the cloud, and if you know VPC, that is good. So try to learn important tools that I've discussed before. like Terraform, Kubernetes, some other important tools which are important for you to work as a DevOps engineer. Okay, so let's move on. I'm trying to go down. What is the package for DevOps engineer after 2 years with good skills? Hmm. The package actually vary obviously based on of your experience, but also the package will vary like which company is hiring you. And again, I'm not saying that service-based companies offer less, because service-based companies are also offering better these days, looking at the skills of a DevOps engineer. The product-based companies usually offer better than a service-based company, or a startup companies are also offering better these days. So I would say if a 2-year person is having very good DevOps experience, then you can easily get 12 or 15 or more, uh, based on the number of offers you have and based on how you are performing in the interviews. So that answers question from Rajesh. Okay, Praveen, when we are learning DevOps, should we learn cloud first and then DevOps? Okay, so one way of learning DevOps along with cloud is, I mean, this is what I would do if I were you, Praveen. First, let's say you have learned a tool. Let's say you have learned Jenkins. Now, what you will do is, along with that, when you're learning cloud, automate Jenkins with cloud, like create agents on cloud, and then try to automate how you would deploy or how you would provision infrastructure on cloud using Jenkins and Terraform. Now, when you're not sure about how this task, I mean, how can you imagine even this task of automating this infrastructure on cloud with Terraform or with Jenkins? So that's when you would look through different interview questions and understand what are the common scenarios on cloud. So let's say you go to medium.com as a website and search there, what are the common scenarios that you would find as a DevOps engineer? And then you will see a lot of different tools, Terraform and Jenkins. So always learn simultaneously, learn cloud along with DevOps. Don't spend 3 months on DevOps and, I mean, on these tools and then start learning cloud. So always think cloud is part of DevOps. Okay, that answers the question. So what will be the package that I have answered? So for the freshers that I have said before, there are opportunities, and I already speak Telugu. Yeah, I can speak Telugu, but I want to address everybody here. Probably we can do that in another channel, hopefully soon. Can an Indian get data analyst scientist jobs and internship in US? Yes, there are a lot of opportunities in US for data analyst. John. So now we are going. So will AWS? I'm sorry, I lost that question. Is it recommended to? Okay, I'm gonna take this question. I'm a fresher. I got a job in TCS, but TCS BPS. I'm not sure what is BPS, but how can I move to cloud domain? Also, I'm having 2 global certifications in cloud. So Mohammed, I don't know the global certifications. What you meant by that? I'm thinking it might be some training certification that you got. But if you're a fresher, if you got a job in a TCS BPO, one way is obviously you have to try within TCS. If there is an opportunity to move within TCS to the cloud, that's the best possible way to, you know, go into a different technology in the same company. But otherwise, it'll be very difficult when you come outside as a fresher. But if you still, show expertise, you can obviously try and get a job as a fresher, Mohammed. What is the future of DevOps and DevSecOps? So future of DevOps and DevSecOps, I mean, they both are the same pretty much, because these days without security you'll not have DevOps. So the future is looking very good. I mean, as far as the information is concerned, because the jobs are there, and a lot of companies are still going to adopt DevOps, and the adoption rate in cloud is still less. So even if you want to try as a freelancer or a full-time employee, there are still a lot of opportunities for a DevOps engineer, for a good DevOps engineer. Okay, the next question is from Santosh. Bro, can you explain about SRE role? What's the difference between DevOps and SRE? I have addressed again this in my video. So I think a lot of you guys are asking the questions that pretty much I have addressed in my video. So one suggestion that I would, uh, give is that go to the channel, and I think there is a search option there. Search for these questions like SRE, and you will definitely get the answers related to your questions. But having said that, so the difference is that in SRE, you will hear a lot about programming, in the SRE, when compared to DevOps. So DevOps is more geared towards operations role, and you will see a lot of opportunities in the operations role for DevOps. But in SRE, more job descriptions are around, you have to have the coding experience along with the operation experience. So if you are preparing for SRE, make sure that you have a sound understanding of Python or little bit of algorithms as well. But other than that, if I have to talk more about the role specifically, SRE is also into operations, but they're also more about, the incident management and infrastructure management. So you have to be obsessed with the systems, but bringing the software practices into the systems, like automation. Most of the principles that you learn in DevOps are applicable in SRE too. With additional knowledge of coding, will get you easily job in SRE. But I'm also planning to have one SRE interview with one of the pro guy who is actually have implemented SRE. So that is going to happen soon. And now I'm also going to have an interview with one of my very good friend who is working in the GitLab. So you will hear that soon as well. So please subscribe to this channel if you are not subscribed, if you haven't subscribed, or if you are watching this as a replay, uh, please click on the subscribe and like this video. All right, so the next question is from Vishnuvardhan. What if we learn more about operations? Can we switch with DevOps after 2 years from fresher? Yeah, obviously you can easily switch if you are from operations background, because in the DevOps interviews the questions are asked more from the operations as well. So that would give a huge advantage, Vishnu, if you want to switch from operations role to DevOps, and that's what most people have done. All right, so moving on. What if we learn? Okay, that I've answered. I don't know why this StreamYard is showing the same questions. Finding it a little difficult. Okay, so the next question: do you mind telling what are some of the tasks that you perform as a DevOps engineer on a daily tasks? So I'll tell you some of the tasks that I performed before as a DevOps engineer, but like since 2000, let's say in 2015, 16. So as one example is that when I joined a company, I was part of this transformation, meaning that company started getting into DevOps at that stage. So I was working on automating the current deployment and rewriting them in the Ansible scripts. But at that time, the company have chosen to use Ansible. So that's what I was doing there. And that was one task. And the other task was to integrate with Jenkins. But again, now if you're joining in a company, depends on the maturity of the company. So what some of the tasks that you would see is automating the Terraform. So most common task that you will see as a DevOps engineer when you join a company now is, let's say they have infrastructure on cloud. You have to frequently automate the infrastructure using Terraform, and create the Kubernetes, maintain the Kubernetes clusters, or update, or deploy their microservices, or create the micro. I mean, if a client already has microservices, how would you deploy them into Kubernetes? and how would you monitor them, automating that deployment process, right from GitLab or GitHub Actions to Kubernetes to GCP to EKS. So these are some of the tasks that you would perform as a DevOps engineer. Okay, so this is a good question. DevOps is good for introvert. Yeah, it is nothing to do with that. I mean, DevOps engineer is also good for introvert. It is more a deeper question than related to DevOps, because it doesn't matter if you're introvert or extrovert. As long as you're doing your job in whichever field you are from, you should be fine. So Arjun is asking, I have joined an American company investing in GCP in an associate cloud role. I also had a job opening in Tata Exlist in an AWS cloud post. Which would you recommend? So if you want to look at the broader market, obviously AWS is having the highest market share. There's no doubt about it. Still, AWS has that huge advantage. And if you want to do that, you can by all means go to AWS when compared to GCP for that role. But also look from the company's perspective, because if tech, TCS will give you more opportunities to learn multiple clouds, then go with that. Or if you want to invest in the GCP, it's nothing wrong as well, because AWS is already filled with a lot of engineers who are in the market, and GCP will give you that slight edge when compared to other engineers who might not have real experience. So you won't go wrong. Arjun is the short answer, whichever you pick. Okay, Mahesh, it's nice to see you here. Hearing about recession from past few months, what is your opinion and how would it would impact the job market? Yes, so I'm also hearing the same news about recession, and how it might actually impact the job market. But what I've seen is that, again, when companies go through recession, they won't fire a skilled engineer who is required for that role. Even in the last recession, you guys have seen that. Or even when a company is firing someone, they would always fire a person or a team that they feel like they can live without them. So if you are in a niche skill like DevOps or cloud, then it's tough to fire you. So I think Mahesh, given your experience, and I know Mahesh personally because he's been following me, and I had a contact with him. So don't worry about your job in general. You'll be safe. Okay. So the next question is, all right. So I want to try one more thing here. So this is from Nissan. So, sir, I'm student. I have started my preparation for Azure certifications, AZ 900, AZ 104. I want some project suggestions from you, and that can illustrate that I have understanding of DevOps cloud tools and help me to land an internship. So, if you're a student, the good thing is you have already completed two very good certifications. 400, I mean 900 and 104, which shows that you have shown a lot of interest to learn cloud. So that itself will set you apart from the people who are coming out of the college. Nissan. So, but having said that, what you can do additional along with these certifications is doing some side projects if possible. I know it's not an easy thing coming out of college to do a side project, but see if you can do Azure DevOps, and come up with the projects that you can showcase in your resume along with what you have done in certification. So if you can do that and show that what you have done, you will easily crack the job or an internship. And there are companies out there who are looking for skilled people like you who are out of the college, because one, it is financially beneficial for companies to hire people like you when compared to, like I've said, an experienced person, because they charge a lot per hour. And second, it's also beneficial for you to showcase those skills, and it will give you more easy access to companies. And please do reach out to the people over LinkedIn whenever you're trying to apply for internships. Okay, so moving on. All right, so one thing that I want to try is, if you are interested, again, one second, if I can open the studio here directly, because I want to access the comments. The studio here directly, because I want and see your comments directly. Just give me 1 second, please. Because I see some lag when I'm seeing it here. I want to try from here. Okay. All right. So I think this is much better. Okay. So what I want to try is, if you guys are interested again, I will invite you to the stream yard directly, and let's try if you can ask the question by coming online. Let's try that out. I'm going to give the link here. Copy and paste. Can I pin this? I don't know if I can pin this, but let's see. Oops. All right, pin the message. Okay. So if you want to join the stream, feel free to join while I'm taking other questions. But I'm not sure if this will work because I haven't tried this before. So let's see if anybody wants to come online and ask question. But again, please ask question precisely to the point so that we can give more opportunity for other people. Okay, so I'm going to take Prabeen Tripathi.
Yeah, hi GK. Good morning.
Hello, Prabeen. Good morning.
So I have a question for you. Actually, I'm just starting career into DevOps, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm working into the as a cloud native developer from last 5 year or so, and overall around having 11 year of experience. So how should I prepare for the new role?
So this you are working as a cloud native developer, meaning in which technology, Praveen?
It's more into the Java and TypeScript.
Okay. So, can I ask you one more follow-up question on that?
Yes, definitely.
Is there why do you want to go away from the programming background and come into DevOps? Just curious.
It's nothing like that, but I got an opportunity which is allowing me to move outside of India. So,
Okay.
so I'm just preparing for that. So that's how I landed into this opportunity and just started
Okay. Can you
learning.
describe a bit more about the opportunity, like the job
Uh,
description and stuff, what they're expecting?
yeah, so it's more into DevOps. It is mostly into including most of the infrastructure creation along with some kind of taking the architectural decision as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is I am well versed of a few of the technologies which are not much cloud agnostic, I would say, right? I don't know as a Terraform or Ansible, but I know cloud formation, deployment manager, and
Yeah.
CDK as well, right?
Yeah.
So these are the technologies that I know. Other
Mm-hmm.
than that, I'm okay with Python as well, right? Uh, in terms of, I'm a beginner into type Python, but yes, I can excel into that. That's how uh, I am standing as of now.
Okay. So I think the good thing is you already have an opportunity. What you can do, my suggestion is that, so continue focusing on your programming. So please don't ditch your programming because you want to get into the operation side or, get into the infrastructure side. So,
Yeah.
so get do one thing, try more into the architecture role, like system design, architecture, like, because this role also demands you to create the architecture on cloud, how you can design an application and automate the application. So coming from Java background, Python is easier, obviously, that you can easily do that. And the second thing is learn Terraform more, and learn the security part of the architecture also, because as a solutions architect, you should have the holistic understanding coming from 11 years of experience. When you find your next job, um, one advantage you will obviously get is because you have coding experience. Most of the DevOps engineer might not have, because they are coming from the operations role. And second, when you have this system design experience or architecting an application in cloud, then that will give you a massive edge over other people wherever you go in the world. So coming from US, I have seen that, like, solutions architects are obviously paid heavily with this varied experiences that they have.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, thanks for the suggestion, GK. Thank you.
No
So,
problem,
by the
Praveen.
way, I'm also learning your book. I'm yet to finish this. I
Oh,
got this from you actually.
oh, really?
Yes,
Nice.
yes,
So you are one of the I think lucky people who got that.
yes, yes, exactly.
That's a very good book, Praveen. Read that, because that gives you a theoretical understanding of DevOps, which is more important also when you speak outside.
So, actually, I'm losing your voice in between, though.
Oh, it's because of my, I don't know, signal. I think what I was saying was that that book will give you the theoretical understanding, which will be more helpful.
Yeah. Hello.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
I'm able to hear you, but it's echoing a bit. Not sure whether it's my problem or yours.
Oh, okay. Is it better now?
Uh, not much, to be honest.
All right, Praveen. Nice talking to you. I'll give opportunity for others.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
Sure, definitely. Thank you, GK.
you. Yeah, thanks. Take
Yeah.
care. Bye. All right, guys. So I'll take a couple of questions before I add some more people, because I also want to give opportunity for others who are waiting, who are asking in chat. So let's take with the vintage official. Do you think it is practical to do masters in US, as the waiting for Indians for green card is minimum 25 years? Yeah, that is true. I mean, anybody who is going to US on H1 or on the student visa will have to wait for 25 years. That's the harsh reality or truth about the whole immigration process in US. You cannot do much about it. But if you want to do masters, really, that's one way of getting into US. And please, by all means, try that route, because if you're working in a company, you can try the L1 route, which is what I have done, and that might give you faster access to you know getting green card, which I'll explain in one of my videos. But yeah, please try that H1 F1 thing. Sorry. All right, so I'm adding one more person in the stream.
Hi
Hey,
GK, how
Mahesh.
are you? Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Nice.
How are you?
Yeah, yeah, very good, very good. Actually, I mean, my career was changed. I mean, entire my career was changed like anything. I mean, after watching your videos, I mean, you believe me or not? I'll
No,
ask
thank
you
you,
one
Mahesh.
question. One question, one simple question.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
recently, I switched to a new organization where I have an opportunity to work either on Azure DevOps. The second one is cloud,
Mm.
I mean, container ops, like say Kubernetes, Docker.
Yeah.
I mean, including AWS. What do you suggest? Like, which one should I opt? I mean, a futuristic way. Like, which one will give better career path for me?
So one is container ops, and which platform they're going to work on the containers? Is it like AWS, EKS, or
Yeah,
GKU, or where?
AWS EKS. EKS. Actually, they are in Rancher. Now they are migrating to this one, AWS EKS.
Okay. So the other opportunity is Azure DevOps.
Azure DevOps, end-to-end pipelines.
So both are very good opportunities, Mahesh. I'll tell you the reason why. So Azure DevOps
Yeah.
these days is picking up pretty fast. I mean, I have seen. I'm not looking for jobs, but what I do is I do market research very often these days, and there are opportunities that are rapidly increasing for Azure DevOps. You see
Okay.
any new job these days, you see Azure DevOps, at least when compared to AWS or GCP. But having said that, container ops is also very good. This opportunity that you said, right, migrating from Rancher to AWS EKS, only very few people will get that opportunity, because you will see right from scratch how you're migrating the containers to EKS, and then you'll also learn EKS. So that's a very good opportunity too. So in either cases, you won't go wrong with either of these opportunities. See which company, the other parameters which are important.
Okay.
Technology wise it is okay, but other parameters, create an Excel sheet, write both, and technology, and then your work life balance, pay, other goals that you have in life, whether this company will take you to onshore or this company will take you to onshore, money wise and hike wise. Do some research, Glassdoor, whichever has more reviews. This is what I do, that whenever I have
Okay.
more opportunities, I segregate into multiple sections, and then whichever has more points, I go with that.
Sure. I'll implement that.
Anything else, Mahesh? It's so nice to have you here. I know we have been talking since a long time.
There's a time is not there, no? You have limited time. There are a lot of subscribers waiting for you to answer their questions. Let's catch up some other time.
Sure, Mahesh. Yeah, you know where to reach out to me. But thank you again.
Yeah,
Thanks for all your support.
yeah.
Take care.
Thanks very much. Thanks for your question. Time. Bye.
Bye. Okay, so next question I'm going to take again from the chat. With 10 years of experience in .NET, majorly in Windows programming, will it be good choice if I change skill set to Azure and look for a job with it? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a very good choice, MBS. I don't even think, don't waste your time thinking about it. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to have one more person join the live. Yes, I am Azure DevOps. I'm going to check few more things here before I will let Mr. Ankit to join the session.
Yeah,
hey,
hi,
Ankit.
JK.
Ankit, there is a lot of echo. Maybe you should mute your speaker or something.
Just a minute. Is it better now?
Yeah, it's much better. Thank you. No, I
yeah,
still
JK.
hear echo.
Sorry.
I think echo is coming from your device, I guess.
Okay.
I could hear my own voice.
It's better. I will share my question in chat.
Yeah, please do that. I'll try to answer that. All right, thanks, Ankit. Okay, so next we will move on to Harika. Hey, Harika, please unmute yourself and ask the question. No, I cannot hear you, Harika. Who else is waiting?
Hi, GK. Can you hear me now?
Hey, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, but your voice is very low for me. I don't know. Yeah, actually, I have 3 years of experience in IT, and I have a little knowledge on Python. Now I'm trying to move to Azure as Azure DevOps. So
Yeah.
I would like to see we have a lot of competition, right? A 10-year experienced developer is also trying, and I, as a fresher, want to move to Azure DevOps. So can you give some suggestions? Do I need more certifications to get on and be successful as a DevOps?
A DevOps engineer. Okay. Are you able to hear me okay if I answer? Is it still low for you? So basically, Harika, one thing is that you have already made up your mind with Azure DevOps, which is good. So try working on the same. Get Azure certification, Azure DevOps certification. That is number one. Number two is, while you're learning Azure DevOps, obviously Azure DevOps is tightly coupled with the Azure services. So while you're learning that, try to learn basics of Python, which you already have, which is also good. As far as experience is concerned, so there is always opportunity for young talent like you, because in most of the companies, they not only just look for 10 years or 11 years of experience, they have varied levels of job descriptions that they have for the juniors and as well as for the experienced pros. So don't get disappointed that a 2-year person might not be hired, because the opportunities are still there, and people will always look for people, I mean, like you guys, because we need in the less budget. Thank you, Harika. Now I'm gonna take some questions from the chat. So I just want to ask one question. Can you guys hear me okay, or is it still bad that I have to fix something from my end? Can you please type yes if you're able to hear me okay? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Srinivas. Perfect. Now let's invite more people. Not Abhishek. So I'm going to invite Srinivas. If you are having your video, that'd be easier for me to invite, because... Hey, Srinivas.
Hi, JK. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Your channel. It's nice. So you're giving a lot of knowledge to the people like us. So I was basically working as a Linux system administrator. Basically support desktop support only. So my background is like that, and so I want to know how to transfer to Azure, and I want to plan the multiple clouds like GCP also. So what is the roadmap? So how I want to plan? So how many months? Like I thinking I have like 6 months or 9 months, and
Yeah.
what is the role opportunities for us like? And I was very bad in coding. So frankly speaking, I was scared of coding.
Yeah. I understand that, Srinivas. So, Srinivas, I'm hearing a lot of echo from your end also. I don't know if it is because of me, but probably let's do one thing. While I'm answering, yeah, please go on mute. So, the good thing, Srinivas, is you came from the operations background, right? I mean, even I came from operations background long back. I started my career as an operations engineer. If you have seen my roadmap, sorry, my career path, that makes two of us. And one good thing that we all have is we have very good skills of debugging. Whenever things go, or whenever shit hits the fan, we are the ones who are going to fix that. and in the DevOps interviews, a lot of times they ask questions about how you would debug, let's say a load balancer is not accepting connections, or what is the difference between a TCP and a UDP. I'm just giving you some examples of the system level questions that they ask, or the operations level questions that they ask. So it is, you are at the right place, but only thing that I would change in your thought process is, instead of learning all 3 clouds and spending 6 months, learn at least one cloud to start with. Pick any cloud, AWS or Azure. If you want to learn a cloud that will give you more opportunities, then currently I would suggest, compute wise, market leaders are AWS and Azure, compute wise, because most of the companies, they either pick these two, for obvious reasons. And if you want to learn GCP, then you are more looking for a specialized services like data engineering and other services. So that's why, if you want to pick AWS, and sorry, how many years of experience you have, Srinivas? I forgot that, I think.
Yes, I have 5 years experience, GK.
Okay. So 5 years experience, if you want to take that decision, go with Azure DevOps. That might help, and give yourself some time, 2 months, 3 months. It's a good thing, and then try getting into the market. Same with AWS also. If you want to do that, if you are sticking to AWS, that's also fine. fine. Pick either one of these two and start with that, Srinivas, and try to get certifications related to your operations background. Don't get one big mistake is don't aim for all the certifications because people are doing it. If you want to do in AWS, get to your AWS DevOps Pro. If you want to do it Azure, then get Azure DevOps.
And the coding part?
I mean, coding part you can manage because most of the DevOps tools, they don't require you to code like crazy, like Terraform, as an example, or Ansible, right? If you learn these tools, they don't have heavy coding in that. They just look at the basic like YAML type coding, if you may, just like their DSL. So it's not like you have to unlearn Python. So that you can get away. But one harsh truth is that whenever you go for interviews, they will at least ask you to write some shell scripts or ask you about some basic shell scripting. How does awk work or how does sed work? And they'll throw you some scenarios. I know it is not easy for people who are worried about coding, but I'm telling you, it's very easy if you learn shell. Just try some scenarios, or when preparing for interviews, try some shell scripting based interviews questions. At least practice those before you go for interview. That would definitely help.
And one more thing, forgot to ask is GK. Sorry, taking too much time.
No worries.
No
problem.
So in the basics, so I was in the starting. So is it good to go with the DevOps or Devsecops?
Devsecops. You can do Devsecops also if you have. I mean, if you can practice some scenarios. The only difference is you have to integrate security tools in the whole process. But if it is easier, start with DevOps, and then ultimately you can learn security part of it. It's not that it's not that a big deal that to learn DevSecOps, because everything is integrated end of the day. You just have to learn additional tools in the security part, like Fortify and other tools, how to integrate those, or do SonarQube analysis, static analysis, or some companies might have their own tools, security tools. So just have to learn the security concepts. Probably what you can do is when learning DevOps, try to learn the security concepts of DevOps and how this security will play a role, the theoretical part at least, if you don't know the implementation part.
Thanks, GK. Thanks. Thank you so much.
No problem, Srinivas. Good luck. Thank you. Bye. Right. Okay, so now I'm going to take some questions from the chat here before I would invite some more people, because I also want to give them opportunity. Do we need coding in Azure Administrator? I think a lot of people are asking about coding, which I did address again in my videos. I created 2 videos, and I'm creating more videos because you guys are asking them. But usually coding will have some role. So please do learn the coding in any administration. You will have coding because you are, as a DevOps engineer, hired to automate some part. So if not lot of coding, at least learn the basics, or the tools that you use. You have to learn how to integrate and how to automate those tools. So what I'll do to address this question is that I will create one more video on where the coding is actually applied in the DevOps engineer. I think that might help a lot of you guys. Okay, so now I'm going to take one more person in the stream. I'm going to take, if you're on the video, it'll be easier for me to add you guys. So I'm going to take Ravish. Hey, Ravish.
Hi, GK. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
It's really a pleasure to connect with you. You might not remember me, but I do remember you. So I remember you from last year, like when I was starting my own channel. Actually, I reached out to you. I first saw your channel only, how you are doing stuff, and then I thought like you are kind of unapproachable. So I connected with you on LinkedIn, and then I dropped you a message. How do you do stuff? Where do you learn it from? And what are the tools and techniques that you use to record the video? And you were the only guy who replied to me. I've reached out to many people.
Oh, really?
And you were the,
Okay.
I mean, so humble that you only replied to me. And then I started recording my own videos using the same tool, and everything went fine. So I'm
That's
not
awesome.
here to ask a lot. I'm not here to ask a lot of questions over here. I'm just here to thank you that whatever you are doing for the community, it really helps us a lot, because I think right now you are in the US and you can give a bit of insight of the other part of the world, and that helps us as a lot. And then people who are into DevOps and cloud who want to move into this get a lot of insight
Yeah.
on that. So
Thank you, Ravish.
because of that,
Ravish, if you want to promote your channel, please say your channel's name here so that people can join.
Okay. So, hi everyone. My name is Ravish. I do create content on DevOps and cloud. I have real-time projects also on my channel. My channel name is Logic Ops Lab. I'll put that
That's
in the
awesome.
comment section. GK, if you can pin that, please do that. And
Absolutely.
if you get any chance, I mean, it's a request from me. Like, can we do one kind of a collaboration or something in which I would like to speak about something about the channel, or that can help
So
people
are
a
you
lot.
working as a DevOps engineer now? Sorry to interrupt you,
Yeah,
but are you working as a
yeah,
DevOps
I
engineer?
do. Yeah, I do have 10 years of experience. I am one of those
Okay.
people who started DevOps in 2013 itself. I mean, very new,
Oh,
when Jenkins was not Jenkins, when Jenkins was Hudson. I started at that time. So,
yeah.
yeah, and I'm really thanks for having me here. I just have one question. So,
Yeah.
if we get opportunity to work in the US as a DevOps engineer, how do you compare the like chances of the work quality, the culture? How would you and what would you prefer? So, like, how do we go about it?
So I'm gonna, give you one example, right? By the way, so I'm right now in India. I moved back to India, ditching my green
Oh,
card. I'm going to explain that whole story in some other video.
that would
But
be interesting.
so, but having said that, culture-wise, obviously, I mean, I'm not boasting US culture here, but things are changing in India also. It is much better in the terms of work-life balance and the amount of work. And as you know, right, lot of stuff from the things that you see in California happens from US. I mean, most of the
Mhm,
technology stuff happens there also. Most of the new stuff happens there. So
mhm,
work-wise, it is a great opportunity. But I would say that anybody, whoever wants to get an opportunity or whoever is planning to go to US should at least spend 3 years or 4 years in US. I mean, I'm not asking you all to settle there, but have the exposure, any culture, have cultural exposure there. You will understand how people work there, how you interact with people, how to elevate yourself in a role. Because after coming back from US, at least I understood different perspectives, and it was a great opportunity to work in different cities there. And the culture wise, it's much easy culture than here, I would say, Ravish. It also depends on company you're working.
okay. Yeah, thanks a lot. I won't take much time. I'll just drop my channel's link over here. If you can pin it, it
Absolutely. I'll
would be
also
great
try
help.
to post it on the community one time, some other time.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Please do. Thanks a lot, GK. Have a great weekend ahead.
Right,
Bye bye.
Ravish. Have a good day. Thanks. Yeah, bye. Okay, I'm gonna take a few more questions from here in the chat. Okay, so I'm Cloud Series in Telugu. Yes, Murli, that is coming soon. So the next question is that I'm working in Amnistio ETL tool in support team, but I'm not enjoying the work in ETL, so I'm seeking very less option ahead. What should I prefer as a fresher, DevOps or development? If you're already in support, Nick, it's easier to transition to DevOps engineer. But again, your interest is the most important thing than whatever I'm trying to suggest you. If you want to become a developer, then by all means do that. And I mean, IT is one place where you can switch from multiple technologies. Nobody is going to stop you. The only thing is obviously you have to justify in the interview. But I'm telling you that justification will only happen for the first two questions. After that, you have to prove what you know as far as job description is concerned. So pick either of them and try to get into that. Okay, so I'm gonna take one more person from the stream here. I'm going to come to you, Naveen, in a moment. Srinivas, I have answered you, so I'm gonna remove you from here. Okay, so I'm going to add Krishna. Hey, Krishna.
Hey, hi GK.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Yeah, GK, thanks for doing these videos. I've been following your videos for quite some time now. When I was a pure developer, right, I was following your videos more from the DevOps perspective. I kind of transitioned from being a developer architect into a product manager for the last 1.5 years. So I understand this is an Ask Me Anything session, right? So that's why I kind
Yeah,
of want to sidetrack you on a different
yeah,
perspective, right?
sure.
So what I want to understand from you is the key metrics or the KPIs, like which is
Mhm.
important to you as a DevOps engineer, as an
Yes,
SRE, as a
yeah,
cloud manager, right?
yeah,
So cloud, you have a lot of workloads sitting in the cloud, and you would like to manage these workloads, correct? Um,
yeah.
so. Uh, so, what are the key metrics which you basically look for on your day-to-day basis to make sure that all your workloads are intact, your security posture is intact, your performance for all your infrastructure is intact, things like that. So, I don't want to bias you by giving you these options, but I would like to hear your perspective on that.
Thanks, Krishna. That's a great question. So, so I think you asked about two metrics. I mean, one is the DevOps metrics. So SRE metrics are pretty clear in the terms of SLOs and SLIs, as you know, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and the incident management, because the more systems, I mean, the systems are active, or the if you have an SLA that you have defined with your customer, saying that my system is going to be live for 99.9%, right? So that's an SLA that you have an agreement with the customer. Now, as an SLO for your internal company, sorry, for your internal team would be 100%. Let's say, I'm assuming, I'm not saying it can never be 100%, right? So that way, that's very defined in SRE. But in the DevOps, the biggest three KPIs or three metrics are quality, velocity, and MTTR. I mean, there are other metrics beneath that, or subset of other metrics. So the key metric for any company when they're adopting DevOps is how fast they can move their feature or thing to the production, and how fast they can give their feature to the customer, because that's the competition they are in, right? So that's velocity. And quality, as you know, how many less bugs you have for a product. And velocity we have discussed. MTTR is if a system is down, how fast we can recover from that system. Now, these SLI, I mean, SRE metrics and DevOps metrics are these two. And the other metrics are, the cloud metrics are pretty much common, like the incident management, how often you keep your system active, and you create the dashboard. Let's say one service, I'm taking load balancer as an example again. You see more timeouts and how many less timeouts you see. So if for everything, if you are creating a dashboard and if you're analyzing by using your BigQuery or whatever database you have, then it would be better for you to improve month on month and then year on year, and looking at those metrics. So you can define the metrics based on your company, but obviously these are higher level metrics that any DevOps or any company who are getting into DevOps or SRE would look into. I hope I have answered your question, but let me know if you.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So what third-party tools do you generally use on your day-to-day basis to kind of achieve this, right? So more than DevOps, right? What I am looking to hear from you is on the SRE and the cloud management perspective. I got an answer
Mhm.
for both, but if you
Yeah.
can, possible if you can dig deep a little deeper on like what third party tools are you are using on day to day basis, and what you would like to use but you don't have access to it, and
Yeah.
what metrics you like to see in those tools, that will help, GK.
Yeah. So basically, I'm from enterprise world, and we have access to a lot of big tools. Probably not, startup companies might not use. For example, New Relic is one common tool that we use a lot, and there are companies who use Dynatrace from the APM perspective, because application monitoring is also important, along with your infrastructure monitoring. And then for SRE, there are specific tools like Catchpoint, as you know, is one tool that a lot of companies use for the SRE metrics. And then now Google, because they came up with this SRE, they have very well defined monitoring and creating this SLAs and SLOs very well defined in the dashboard. So these are some of the common tools. And what was the other question? Sorry, Krishna, I forgot that.
So what metrics do you primarily get from these tools? Like what you would be interested as a cloud manager, right?
Yeah.
So because like
So
these tools offer myriad of metrics, right? Based on integration, and of course, I am looking at the enterprise segment and MSP segment. So definitely, you can pinpoint these tools. So these are
yeah,
helpful to know. So the metrics which matters to you the most.
I think uptime is the most common metric. Like, how often you can keep your systems. But again, these metrics might differ from team to team. Let's say if I'm the manager for whole operations team in the whole company, or part of the cloud center of excellence, and then my metrics are different from a manager who is specifically looking into that specific application. For example, let's say I'm manager for some team that is overseeing the security, as an example, right? So my metrics are looking into the security parts of, like, how less we see vulnerabilities, or you know let's say container security, as an example. How many less bugs, I mean less security issues we see in the container or container images. But there is people teams set up in the CloudWatch, as an example, in AWS, and they look at the API gateway alerts and see. I think it's improvement based on the metric that how you define at an application level to start with, and then it goes down to the infrastructure level, and there are metrics that a security team would look into. It varies from team to team, Krishna.
Yeah, understood. Okay, so this is helpful, GK. Yeah, maybe I can post you a message later, and if you
Absolutely, yeah,
find
we
that,
can have, you
we can.
can you can absolutely set up time on my calendar if you want to go deeper into this.
Sure, GK. Very helpful. Thanks for doing this. Bye.
Thanks, Krishna. No problem. Thank you. Bye. Okay, so I'm going to take a few more questions from Surender Ireddy. That is hard truth. I don't know what is hard truth, but let's. So I have a technical doubt how to upload as a folder. We can answer that later, Praveen. How do I get into DevOps as an internship? Suhail, I have answered that before, my friend. How do you suggest switching from testing to DevOps? I think switching from one technology to any technology, Sridevi, it's the same fundamental thing. You have to go through things that are required for a DevOps engineer. That will not change. I mean, the roadmap will stay intact, irrespective of where you are coming from. All right, so now I'm going to take one more question from the StreamYard here. I'm going to add Naveen. Hi, Naveen.
Hi, GK.
How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you? No, I'm
I'm
no,
doing well.
I'm the one who's following you since 1.5 year. That time I started
Oh,
learning Azure SQL. Yeah, yes, sir. I messaged you over the WhatsApp also. You replied only once, I believe.
you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
long
really?
back. It's been 1 year back.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
tried to
later.
reply as much as I can, but unfortunately, because of my time,
Yeah,
the thing
understood.
went.
Yeah, I know. After following you only, I started learning Azure SQL because
Mm-hmm.
I'm mainly from MS SQL administration.
Yeah.
So I started learning it. I got opportunity to work on Azure SQL. Okay, that part
Okay.
I'm working currently, but I'm
Hmm.
more interested into DevOps, these types of things. No, I'm not getting any opportunity over here. Currently, I'm working with Entity Global Limited.
Entity also
I
has a lot
have
of
7 years
DevOps,
of experience.
right? Entity also has
I
a lot of DevOps roles. No.
no, not seriously, really, JK. No, actually, it's a
Mhm.
Entity Global Limited. It's a small firm only in Hyderabad.
Okay.
It's not Entity Data.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it.
Yeah, they both are going to merge in September, I believe.
You're revealing all the secrets here, Naveen. but I think when you said you were following me, why didn't you learn Azure instead, just as an administrator, instead of learning Azure SQL?
It's not administrator. I'm working on Azure SQL service, Azure SQL
Oh,
database.
Yeah, but my question was, why didn't you learn Azure administration or
I
Azure
know
DevOps
I
at
thought
that
of
time?
learning, but I didn't get the opportunity to work on real time.
Mm-hmm. See, good thing is you have Azure at least as a keyword, so
Yeah.
you can you can learn Azure DevOps, and then see if you can create a POC in entity data. I mean, that's the perfect way of at least explaining whenever you're going into the next company that you have worked on Azure, or you have done a POC in the company and you're trying to apply. See, Naveen, I'll tell you an example, right? So when I'm
Yes.
hiring someone,
Okay.
when they come to me or anybody, or manager under me, what we look at, I think this will answer a lot of everybody's questions as well. If they don't have real experience, how do they deal in
Yeah.
the interview?
Yeah.
We only ask the first question, what have you done? It doesn't matter whether you have done a POC or whether you have done something else. So the next
Okay.
follow-up questions are going to be on the technical side. So let's say you put Azure, you have done Azure DevOps and you have done Azure DevOps certification, and because there is lack of opportunity in your team, at least you have come up with some POC and you have completed something, you know. And when you come to an interview for, like, let's say before me, I'll ask you about the POC, and if you can explain that better, then the follow-up questions will be on the Azure DevOps, how you have integrated. Let's say you have integrated with, you know, uh, your Azure GitHub. How did you commit the code, and how did you deploy the code in Azure? So it will be always like that. So don't worry too much about what you're currently working. Just try to learn and create POCs. That way, it will be helpful for you to put experience and crack an interview.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, JK. I have basic knowledge of Linux also. No, I
That's good.
learned beginning of my career. I do
Yeah.
well on that one. I know. I'm just thinking about that whether to move to Azure DevOps, or or else I need to learn something new, something about Google Cloud or something.
No,
I
Azure
was just
DevOps is good.
I'm just
Azure
yeah. I
DevOps is
was
good, Naveen.
since still thinking. Okay, JK.
Yeah,
Thank you.
don't think and
Thank you for
waste
your
your
time.
time for next 3 months.
Sure. No. By September,
Okay.
October, no, I'll surely complete one of the certification for the Azure DevOps. That's for sure.
Okay, so ping me if you are
I'm
done
just
with
planning
that.
for that.
We can talk more.
Sure. Yeah, JK. I'll get in touch with in LinkedIn.
Sure, Naveen. Thank you. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Naveen.
Yeah. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Okay, so I'm gonna take a few more questions. I think we are already past 1 hour, but I'll try to take more questions and extend this live. Okay. The question is, I'm sorry, I hope you can see here. So cloud security versus DevSecOps, they're not that different. DevSecOps will also include the security to an extent of the cloud as well. But cloud security specifically focuses on, where multiple aspects of cloud, right? First, your infrastructure security, your data center security, which you do not have any control of, that is taken care by the service provider themselves. But you have your services security, which you can control through IAM, like who is accessing the services. And ultimately, it comes down to your application security, whatever you're deploying into the cloud. Whether you're deploying an application in on-premise or cloud, application security is common in both cases, and that's where your DevSecOps will help. So if you're learning DevSecOps, that is good. Having a little bit understanding of cloud security, which is also good. There are specific certifications in the cloud security if you want to get into that. Generic cloud certifications. I think CISSP, not CISSP, but there is one which I don't remember exactly, but from the same company, they have generic, cloud security certifications. If anybody know, please comment here. I totally forgot that. Okay. From Karthik, how can I get your DevOps book? I have DevOps book. I haven't written any DevOps book. The one that somebody was mentioning was the DevOps book that I have given it as a free giveaway long back, Karthik. But I'll try to have one more giveaway which I have planned for my 100K subscribers thing. I'll give more books during that. Okay, now I'm gonna take a few more people from the stream yard here. I'll start with Vivek. Hey, Vivek.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Hey, don't call me sir, please, Vivek. Please
Yeah, sure.
ask the question.
Sorry. Yeah, currently, actually, I'm working in database role, and I just wanna ask you that whether I am really interested in cloud role. So, should I completely switch into it, or is there any role related to? I mean, where in cloud platform I can use my SQL knowledge as well.
You can. So there are two paths that generally. Are you from the DBA side or from the cloud SQL, like PL SQL and
No,
programming developer
completely
side?
from
Sorry,
DBS side.
completely from DBA side. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are two paths that most of the people have taken.
Okay.
Okay, one secret again. If you look at my LinkedIn, I was also DBA back in those days. I did my 10G certification long back. I don't know if Oracle still has 10G, but I have done some DRBD with MySQL and data guard implementations with Oracle. So you can switch if you have good Linux experience and good database experience.
Okay.
You can switch from either do a radical switch from database to DevOps. Right? That is one approach.
Okay.
Or the second approach is there are some people who, as a DBA, will continue their journey in the cloud as well. Let's say in cloud you have Postgres, right?
Yes.
In who implement in AWS, because
Yes.
Postgres, MySQL are also there in AWS.
Yes.
So there are
Yes.
companies who look for DBAs who have very good experience in managing these databases or helping the database migration to cloud from on-premise.
Okay.
Like as you know, right, when you are a DBA in on-prem, you have to take care of backups and everything by yourself,
Yeah.
and applying the patches or everything. But in cloud, things are automated. But there are
Yes.
other factors, other things that you have to take care in cloud, like how you access the database might be through IAM instead of username password.
Yes.
The things might change. So there are specific database certifications also in cloud, like AWS has the database specialist exam. If I'm not wrong, even GCP has started implementing that. Azure has the certification also. So that is one path, Vivek. There is nothing wrong with that. The jobs are always there. It's a niche area, for database administrators. Or if you are bored with the DBA, the reason why I have switched was because I could not do night shifts. I did only once, and then I'm like, I'm done. so
Okay.
so it's up to
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Just one more quick question. Actually, I refer to most of your videos, and I was able to crack cloud practitioner easily because of you. So
Thank you,
I'm
Vivek.
right now
Thank you.
preparing for the solutions architect. So
Mhm.
I just want to ask,
AWS.
speak on that. Yes, AWS.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just want to ask that whether this solution architect exam when I will complete or achieve the certificate. So how much impact it will show on my resume? I mean, whether it will just act as an additional skill set, or it will definitely boost the availability in the market.
What was your experience? You said again.
No, I'm just a fresher now, currently working as a database engineer.
No, how many years of experience you have in IT in total?
Sorry, sir. Actually, I'm just a fresher, and currently I just have
Oh,
6 to 7 months.
6-7 months, right? Okay, okay. Now, usually, right? I mean, this is general market demands that a solutions architect is a person who have at least 6 8 years of experience. I guess it is also defined in the AWS website, because when you do an essay, solutions architect, the expectation is you are going to migrate a whole application and design whole application in cloud. You're
Okay.
architecting an application, right? Solutions architect in Google, let's say previously it was very tough interview to crack. Even now, essays is the most tough interviews to crack. So if you do essay now,
Okay.
it will be very good for you. It's not bad thing. You will get a lot of experience in
Yes.
varying in variety aspects of cloud, because it covers all the aspects of cloud, right?
Yes.
Security,
Yes. Yes.
DevOps, operations, many things.
Yes.
But getting a job as an essay will take time to gain, because you have to gain more experience.
No, no. I don't mean to get directly the architect job. I just meant to
Okay.
say whether it will switching in the cloud role, whether it will
Yeah.
provide much benefit using the solutions architect certificate.
Yes, gaining the knowledge, it will provide definitely more experience. Yeah,
Okay.
more knowledge on cloud.
And
Definitely.
just one more last question. Sorry to
Yeah, sure.
take this time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So according to you, which may the most futuristic role I should look for when I will switch to cloud?
SA role.
Sorry.
Solutions architect role.
Okay. Okay. Definitely. Okay. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the knowledge.
No problem, Vivek. Good luck. Thank you. Bye.
Thank. Bye.
Okay, I'm going to take a few more questions from here, and then I'm going to add Mohit to the stream. All right. So, okay, I'm going to scroll down. I'm into networking profile with cloud networking experience from 3 years. So total 10 plus years of experience in networking. How to move career in cloud networking? So Kiran, one suggestion is that I have done a very good interview with Jimmy. He was a very good colleague of mine in US. He was into networking, and he has given very good tips about how people can move from networking, on-prem networking, to the cloud networking. So if you follow that, I think most of the questions will be answered. If you don't mind, I will skip this question and go to the stream here. Hey Mohit.
Hi GK, how are you?
Mohit, are you taking this call from your office?
Yeah, definitely, actually. So that's good. So yeah, that's a nice like opportunity I have to meet you actually here. So I have gone through your videos and so I have like 2 years of experience. So I just started as automation engineer here. You can see automation is just kind of DevOps only, just few tools we are leveraging here, right? So
Mhm.
what happened when I gone through your video? You have shown us a roadmap, right? So
Yes.
at that roadmap, so some I have seen some OS kind of thing and networking kind of thing.
Yes.
So when I think about that, I thought like I have to do amtech in this particular area, then I will get more knowledge, right? So what do you think on that perspective? Like we
You have
have
to do
to
what?
go
Sorry, I
amtech
missed the
actually,
last part of the
masters,
question.
sorry, masters like in networking or in computing part, right? So what do you think? Like
Mm.
we have to go it, or like we have to take experience in the organization only and then do it, right? What do you think?
Uh, um, I mean, you want to learn the networking and other stuff, right? So
Yes,
that's, I
yes, the
mean, I think
basic
the
thing
question
which
is,
is required for the DevOps, right? Or operating
mm,
system and the operating systems related things and network related
yeah,
things, right? That's a basic thing. So I
that would not
is
require you to
coming in.
do, yeah, that would not require you to do MCA or masters. That would
Right,
waste your
right.
time. That's my
Yeah, yeah,
suggestion.
that's
Don't
yeah,
do that, because
right, right.
one suggestion is that, see, networking in DevOps is not like a CCNA level networking or CCNP level networking. It is very basic. I'll give you some examples. The questions that they ask is, one famous example question that I got 30-40 times in my interviews is TCP versus UDP, or how would you set up a DNS, how actually DNS works, how would you set up an SSL, what is how does TLS work, you know? So, or what is the difference between layer 4 and layer 7? And these questions are the most common questions. Now you know that, or maybe what is the subnet and how many IP you'll have in this range. So you don't have to go do MTech. Please don't waste your time with that. And the other question, the other thing was operating system, right? Operating system, again, they'll not
Yes,
ask you kernel level programming. They will ask you about the basics of Linux. Sometimes they'll ask you, depends on the role. Sometimes they ask you how would you debug certain things in, let's say, the system got filled suddenly, the
yeah,
file system got filled. How would
yeah,
you
yeah,
add more space in the file system without rebooting the system,
yeah. That thing I
you
have
know?
done it now only. Yes,
logically mounting your logically mounting your, I'm sorry, I'm just getting distracted with a lot of comments here on the right side. So so these are the some of the things that you would see, and you don't, yeah, I mean, you don't have to learn by going into a
yeah,
college.
yeah. Right. So the
Okay.
last question
I
will
hope
be
I have
right.
answered your question.
Yes, definitely, and I
Yeah.
got the answer, and I will not going for
Mhm.
masters now. Definitely. The last question will be like I am in the journey of DevOps only. So basically, I have
Mhm.
started the cloud journey also in the side by side, right? So I usually work for the financial sectors most, right? So they are using on-prem things,
Yeah.
right? Not most the cloud things.
Mhm.
So what do you suggest? Like, is it to is it go with the financial sector or more, or need to change in a cloud sector also? I need to leverage myself in a cloud sector too, because as I see, like most of the companies or most of the clients I have seen in my organization only, they have almost moved to the cloud, right? So that's
Mhm.
like another question I have, because financial institutes, right, they are not going to move in a cloud sector because they have some mindset of privacy and all, and the regulations which are going on, right? So that's a
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
So that perspective is changing a little bit these days, because like you have seen Capital One has come up with some amazing tools for cloud, and Goldman Sachs, they are moving into cloud, and the other company which does the finance in US, I forgot the name, they have whole like TurboTax, they have everything in AWS. So you're going to file your taxes on TurboTax. So that perspective has changed a lot. I mean there are financial companies who are moving aggressively to cloud, but like you said, they might have their payment stuff or payment gateways related stuff, PCI data in on premise, and then a lot of other applications to cloud wherever they can leverage the cost. So one advantage that you'll get with financial companies is that you'll have better work-life balance when compared to other companies. So, so no problem in taking that option if you want to.
Yes, yes, definitely. Yeah, thank you so much for connecting. We'll meet again.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good luck.
bye.
Thanks. Bye. So I'm going to take this question from Ali, and this is, please reply, sir. Should I get certification in all the DevOps tools like Linux, computer, network? Love from Africa. So you don't have to get certification. I mean, Linux certification, if possible, you can get that, but nobody generally asks about Linux certification. Even computer networking, nobody generally asks computer networking certifications for DevOps. The certifications that you want in DevOps, important certifications, if you ask me right now, are Kubernetes certification, CKA, for the tools, and then Jenkins, you can ignore. Docker, no, you can ignore. CKA is one. Terraform certification, if possible, is second. And then any one cloud certifications. If you want to pick three, then these three are the certifications that I would recommend. Rest all you can ignore, or it's up to you if you have time and money to spend. Okay. Now we're going to take a few more people from stream. And I'm going to come back to this question later. Okay, I'm going to take Priyank.
Hi, GK.
Hey,
Good
Priyank.
evening. Nice
Good
talking to
evening.
you. I've been following your videos of late, and it's a great opportunity for me to get an
Nice
opportunity to
talking to you,
interact
friend.
with you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, I'm a 15 years experience. This September, I'll be completing 15 years in the industry. I started with TCS in 2007,
Yeah.
and till
Okay.
2015, I was with them, and then I joined a
Mhm.
PSU bank as a senior manager IT. And in 2019, I got a promotion. And after that, I am out of touch with IT because being a part of senior management now, they want me to work in the core banking operation. But I'm missing the IT work and I want to switch back. So, what should be the path for me? Means what all things I should do which will attract the recruiters and I can switch back to any IT firm?
Yeah, obviously, you know this, right? I mean, if you are working in
Mm,
the niche skills, like the hot
yeah.
skills in the market, data
Okay.
engineering, data science, or data analysts,
Mhm.
or DevOps, cloud, these will attract more calls. I mean, these will attract a lot of recruiters to talk to you, Priyank. And
Okay. Okay.
I think because you have 15 years of experience, let's say
Yeah.
you put today in the resume that, in the PSU bank, I have done some cloud stuff. And
Yeah.
if you put that,
Mhm.
I'm telling you that you'll get a lot of calls to you cannot take those
Mhm.
calls because you have a lot of experience.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
is
Okay.
one
Because
option,
in
but
TCS
I would
actually
not
I had
suggest
worked
you to
in
put.
ETL. Mm, should I
Sorry,
go
sorry,
on?
go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
Mm. Actually, I had worked in ETL technologies. I worked in shell scripting, PLSQL programming, IBM data stage informatica, and all these things I had done. But since this cloud and DevOps has come, so with these things I am out of touch. So whether I'll be cope up now, that is also one question. And means what exactly should be on the CV so that I could get their traction.
So one of the biggest mistake that you have done, I mean, we don't want to
Yeah.
retrospect on that, is that you
Okay.
worked in TCS from 2007 to 2015. I'm just kidding. So you should not have that long
Actually,
stint with the
I
TCS
got an
company.
opportunity to be at on-site. I was at Mexico for 1.5 years. So I
Oh,
thought
that's nice.
till the
Okay. No,
time,
I'm
yeah.
just teasing. Just teasing, Priyank.
Okay.
There's not. It's not a
Okay.
bad thing. So
Hmm.
yeah, cloud DevOps, because you have Linux experience, right? Give
Yeah.
yourself at least 4 months of time, 5 months max. Try
Okay.
to learn. Take any course on
Hmm.
Udemy or anything, along with
Okay.
a cloud certification. And I would say if you have put 5 years of experience that you have worked on DevOps or cloud, or if you get an opportunity, like I've said in when I spoke to the other guy, if you can do some POCs
Okay.
in your sector,
Okay.
wherever you are in the PSU,
Okay.
and then put that
Hmm.
in the resume, I'm sure that you can easily get opportunities. At least you'll get calls with your IT
Okay.
experience.
Okay.
Even
And
if you don't want to
what
put.
should be the,
Mhm. Yeah.
and how can I start any POC? Means because at my job, I am sure that I'll not get that opportunity. So I'll have to do it on my own. So where can I get any such project where I can work on
The real-time projects, right? In your current
real-time projects?
company, in your current company, is there any way you have?
Not mhm,
No way.
because no way.
And you do not have even systems where you can automate something.
Means at my home, I am doing all the things. I am following all those videos, Udemy courses, and all those things I am doing. But at
Yeah,
home
yeah,
only,
yeah.
I do not have a real-time application where I can practice.
So the scenarios are concerned. One way, Priyank, is I mean, you can reach out to me or LinkedIn. I'll give you some scenarios. What are the scenarios that we
Okay.
usually we usually do at work, and then you can reach
Okay.
out to the
Thank you so
same
much.
way to other people as well,
Okay.
who are actually working in DevOps now, and then YouTube
Okay.
videos. And the other thing is, go to the Glassdoor and see what are the questions that they ask, and based on that, you will see the scenarios also. Like medium.com is
Okay.
one website that I would highly recommend following, which
Okay.
I also recommend whenever I want to create videos on YouTube, whenever I'm running
Hmm.
out of ideas. So these are
Okay.
some of the sites. But reach out to me
Okay.
LinkedIn. We can talk about some of the scenarios.
Okay. 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 Thank you so much.
Okay.
Actually,
All right.
off late I was not posted at a big metro city. Just 2 months back, I've been posted to Hyderabad. So I'm thinking of making this opportunity. So we'll try for a switch.
Sure. Probably we'll meet one day.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Priyank. Take
Okay.
care.
Thanks. Okay.
Okay. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna take one more question from the chat and then randomly pick here. Shaktiman, I'm from Security Operations Center Enlist profile, but I want to move to Devsecops. Please guide me or explain roadmap, please. I have explained about Devsecops, Shaktiman, but I'll also create probably a roadmap in the Devsecops. It's not going to be much different from DevOps. With additional tools, you will understand Devsecops and what you have to do. And what I've planned in the next few videos is I'll interview some people who are from the security side, so that way you'll understand how DevOps with SecOps might work, will work. Okay, all right. So now I'm gonna take question from here. I'm gonna add Poonam. Hey Poonam.
Hello, sir.
Hey, please don't call me sir, but please ask the question.
Sir, actually, I'm in third year of my BTech, and
Yeah.
I'm very confused now because my friends and seniors are telling me that you will
Mhm.
not get a job as a fresher in cloud. So, and campus are coming in my college. So what should I do? I'm very confused, sir.
I mean,
Whether I should go
to
for
an,
the cloud or go for the software development role.
so most of the, I mean, to be honest with you, right, Poonam, what your seniors said, they have a point, because a lot of the cloud roles expect you to have an experience. That's the truth. I mean, if you do a job search, you will see the cloud roles are asking for I mean, they ask for experience. But having said that, one suggestion that I would give is, don't get away from the software development role if you are interested in that. Software developers are always in demand. Whether you learn cloud or you learn DevOps, software developers will be there in the market, and they have a lot of opportunities. So if you love coding, if you want to know
Sir,
coding or
I know
know,
DSA. Yes,
I'm
I
sorry.
love coding, but not that much DSA. I don't. Um, I'm not interested in that much DSA, but I am interested in cloud part, and I've also certified myself as a solution architect this month.
Oh, solutions architect in
So
AWS.
yes, sir. But what should I do? I'm very confused. So I need a suggestion from.
You, along with your programming, because when companies come to your college, right, they ask for aptitude, I'm sure, first round,
Yes,
and
sir.
then
Yes, sir.
they go for a group discussion, I think, right? And then, do you know whether they are coming to the college and asking you about the cloud or Linux or any such experience? Have you seen any?
No, sir. They only want to know from a student a core subject part and DSA part only, and for the front end developer role and for the software engineer.
Yeah, so
One
that answers your
company,
question, right?
but but I want to go in the cloud, sir. So
Yeah, so see, one route is that as a fresher, you have to get your first job, right? I mean, that's the prerogative of
yes, sir.
yours.
Yes, sir.
Because once you come out of the college, when you try to apply as a cloud engineer, because of lack of experience, they might have less opportunities for you in general, right? I mean, the competition outside. So get your first job, whether you like it or not, and then switch with your certification. I'm sure in 1 or 2 years you can easily switch to cloud, and then keep
Okay,
learning
so
cloud.
I should go for the software engineer role as a fresher for
whichever
now.
whichever opportunity you can get in a company, have that, because once you get into the interview, uh, to any company, when they're coming into your campus, show your programming skills and as well as show your cloud skills. And when they hire you, right, with the salary of 6 lakhs or 7 lakhs, then they will definitely consider your cloud experience, and then they might even put you into the cloud team. And I mean, this is real experience. If you watch my video which I've done with Indra Reddy, one of the video in the channel, and he
Okay.
joined as a fresher from a company, in Hyderabad in
Okay,
2015.
sir.
And he told me that I don't like programming, can you please suggest me something else? And because fortunately he was part of the team where we also had an opportunity in DevOps and cloud, we immediately gave him the task for DevOps and cloud. So but he somehow, I mean, he got into the company, right, through aptitude tests or through the group discussions and all the campus recruitment stuff that happens. So that's why I was saying, like, Poonam, get your first job, and then you can eventually get into cloud.
Okay, sir. Thanks for the
Okay,
suggestion.
no problem.
Thanks.
Thank you. Good luck. All right, so now I'm gonna take few questions from here in chat. It's been 1 hour 30 minutes. I'll take few more questions. If I have option to choose from DevOps or cloud, which one I should consider? The future, I think I have answered this. Cloud is not different from DevOps. I also created a video on that. Whenever you're learning for DevOps, learning DevOps, you have to learn cloud along with that. Join any company or get a project related to cloud. Thank you, Abhishek. I think he was trying to answer Poonam's question. is competitive programming mandatory for Google? Mandatory for Google for SDE role? For SDE role, yeah, for sure, Karan. Okay, now I'm gonna add someone from stream here. I'm gonna add Seshu. Hey Seshu.
Hi, hi GK. Yeah, how are you? How are you? Yeah,
Thank
actually,
you.
I'm following from 1 year. Uh, because of you videos, I am coming into learning DevOps, right? Basically, I have nearly 12 plus of years experience in application management
Yeah.
and application support, right? I started learning from 2 months seriously and DevOps and cloud technologies with AWS online
Mhm.
courses. And recently, what happened? One of my project was got ended last month. That's why eagerly
Okay.
trying with some new job with DevOps and AWS side. Now, what can I go for that approach? How can I go any roadmap for this one?
Sorry, Seshu, what is your current role?
Yeah, basically application management and application support, support based applications.
So are you into management role?
No, support IT applications only, IT based applications only in manufacturing company.
Okay. Okay. So if you're into support role, have you done AWS SysOps or DevOps or Azure DevOps certification?
Yeah, no, I did not do anything. Just I learned that online courses only.
Which one did you learn, Seshu? I mean, what have you decided?
AWS,
Which AWS?
AWS, yeah.
So AWS SysOps and DevOps is what I would recommend, Seshu, to learn and get certification.
Okay.
Because you are from application support, right? And you are
Yes,
closer to
yes.
the operations team. I think that would be better.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And how can I approach in LinkedIn side, or how can I go for that to apply jobs? Or can I wait for more time, or how can I proceed with
No.
current stage?
So as soon as you're done with SysOps and DevOps, right? Just try to apply from the LinkedIn and put your resume. Obviously, Naukri, you'll also get a lot of opportunities from there. I think that's about it, Reshu.
Okay, sure,
Any
sure.
other way you would
Thanks.
do it?
No. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, GK. Please share your
Thank you, sir.
LinkedIn ID. Yeah, I missed that one. I have to add that.
So when you go to the channel, you will see 3
Okay.
icons on the top. One is LinkedIn icon.
Okay.
So that's my LinkedIn.
Okay, sure. I will add that one. Thanks, GK. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Reshu. Take care. Bye. All right, guys. So I have to quickly take few more questions before we conclude. I'm gonna please answer for Sridhar. I don't know what Sridhar has asked because the chat is moving very fast here. What kind of Python questions they will ask on DevOps interview? It's not going to be definitely on the data structure level. Lakshmi, the questions will be around the basic Python implementation and automation questions. So there used to be a course in I think A Cloud Guru, Python DevOps for Python. That was a very good understanding of Python implementation in DevOps, like using Boto 3 for AWS, or how do you use SDKs, how you write Lambda functions, how will you write cloud functions. So these are some of the questions that you can expect. Okay, I hope that answers the question. I'm going to take one more person from the StreamYard. I'm going to pick randomly here, Ishu Raj.
Hey,
Ishu.
hello. Hey, hi, hello. Thanks for
No
adding
problem.
me. Yeah. Actually, currently I'm working on some VMware tools like visualize orchestration and visualize automation. So, and I'm looking forward to change my career to Azure public cloud. And currently in my company, they are integrating Azure with VRA also. and
Okay.
also I got a training from company on Azure Kubernetes services. So I am looking forward to done that. So I just want to ask, like, so on like VM replaces containers replaces VMs. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we see the usage of VMs reduce after containers come. So what is the next replacement of containers?
Serverless, I guess. I don't know. I mean, that's a so what companies are still following is, you're right. I mean, most of the compute is getting replaced. Actual compute is getting replaced by micro compute, right? These are all called as micro compute, these containers or serverless functions. So serverless is the next big thing, is what we have been hearing for last 1.5 year, 2 years issue. But the challenge is, if you look at Kubernetes as a platform, you can have it as a solid platform to deploy your whole application end to end, monitoring everything, right? But serverless, we haven't seen one platform from any serverless yet, from any service provider, that would say like, okay, now with you don't have to use Kubernetes, you can use this platform for serverless. Probably to an extent, maybe there are like what you call app engine in a way, platforms that would do some sort of those things. Like, you don't have to worry about even container, you can just deploy the code, and it's not, it's completely, I think I'm getting sleep. I'm just saying. So these are some of the platforms that might replace. But I think the next big thing in the container, it is still containers and serverless for next few years for sure, because a lot of companies are still migrating from normal general compute to containers. There is still a long way to go, because the adoption rate of the cloud itself is around 10%, or in the big enterprises, right? They haven't moved the whole compute yet.
Correct. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for adding me.
Thanks for asking a good question, Shu.
Yeah.
Take care.
Actually, I am a bit concerned about my future, because technology is changing in a very rapid scale. So as we see, especially in DevOps, like every day, every month or every year, new tool is coming and it's gaining a hype in market. And so, yeah, that's why I asked this question.
True. True. I mean, I think containers are still there, because at least when I'm looking at the job market, not many companies are asking if you have serverless experience. They're still asking about container. So the next big thing is not happening yet, at least.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you so much.
No problem, Ishu. Take care. All right, guys. So I'll stop this stream in 8 minutes. That will, I think, help you all so that I can answer more questions. So I'm going to take one more stream user here, who is going to be going by the order. Nishant. Hey, Nishant. You're speaking on mute. Sorry, you're on mute. Yeah. No, I think you have double muted. Probably you have to unmute your mic now. No, I cannot hear you, Nishant. Sounds good. Okay. All right. So I'll add Ram.
No.
Hey, Ram.
Hi, GK. Yeah, GK. Yeah.
Mire. Chapande.
Yeah. You can speak Telugu. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I have 2 years experience in development side.
Yeah.
So for 2023 quarter, I got H1B. It picked up for H1B.
Oh, congratulations. Big thing.
Thank you. So the thing is, I have developed front-end side experience I have, but I'm planning to relocate or change to Devops side, especially in USA. If I got a visa, if I move to USA, I'm planning to move to Devops side. So can you please suggest me? Yeah, can you please suggest me what about future of DevOps, or like people like me, whoever planning to migrate from front end to DevOps?
Why do you want to migrate from front end? Front end has a lot of opportunities, right? Just
Yeah,
2
but I
years.
have 2 years of experience. Maybe I'm unable to pick it up with a small experience. I got a big opportunity in India right now, but struggling a lot without with the 2 years of experience with a big project we are doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. With a small amount of experience, maybe not enough for me to work in front end side.
So the same
That's
will
what I'm
apply
thinking.
for DevOps also, Ram. They'll also ask you for experience in DevOps.
Okay.
No. What I'm saying, like, if you want to learn DevOps, it's not a problem. If you like, only thing is you have to learn tools, a lot of tools, and the roadmap that I have given on my channel, right? If you have
Okay.
looked at that, for example, you have to spend 6 months on learning these tools and cloud and other stuff. So you can easily migrate. I'm not
Okay.
trying to uh, like say you in a wrong way that you should not go to DevOps. It is just that I was just curious. Why do you want to go away from front end, which is also
Yeah.
having a lot of market, right? You know that
Yeah.
Angular
Yeah.
and all this stuff have enough market for you to get the job. So you are going to US. When are you planning to leave?
So right now it is in process. It takes time. I think maybe I need to go for a visa here in India interview.
Yes, interview. Yeah.
But 2007, 8, and 9 at the time I was there in USA on H1B long time ago.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
Second time I'm going back to USA. Maybe I'm eligible for Dropbox other than interview for visa. So
If you
whatever it may
have,
be.
do one thing, Ram. Sorry, I'm cutting you because we are running out of time.
Okay,
Uh,
please.
do one thing. Get, if you want to learn DevOps, learn as much as you can here itself in India,
Yeah.
because when you go to US, by the time you have all the certifications for the tools, and like I've said, 3 certifications, right? Main thing. And then when you go there, along with your front end knowledge you have, if you can put DevOps experience, you will get awesome jobs in US.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, one thing is already I started learning DevOps at this moment. I'm already
Hmm.
Azure admin certified recently.
Okay, you have picked Azure. Okay.
Administrator certification. I have AG for 104.
Okay.
Uh,
Learn Azure DevOps also if possible.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm thinking that one as well. Yeah, I have a lot of
Okay.
time to move. Yes, yeah, not at this moment because maybe
Mhm.
September, October only visa starts processing. So
Yeah.
hopefully at the end of the year or maybe next year, first say Jan, February somewhere. I'm planning. Not sure at this moment about visa status.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Ram. I think I have
Yeah.
answered
Thank
your
you.
question.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
No
Thank
problem. Thank you. Bye. So I'm going to take this question from Avirup. Is there any good platform to have mentorship guidance one-on-one, especially for the DevOps role? All right. So there are still some people around here. So I have one question. So if you are okay, please let me know in the comment section. So what I'm planning to do is I'm planning to create a course and then have live classes. I haven't chosen the platform yet, but do you think that will help? Please comment whatever your thoughts are. Based on that, I can take the feedback and prepare myself. Okay. With that, I'm going to take one more question. For one-on-one, I do not have anything yet. Avirup, please reach out to me or LinkedIn whenever I have time. I will try to answer your question. Or reach out to me in the Instagram. Back to stream. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take Altaf. Hello, Altaf.
Hello, sir. How are you?
Don't call me Sir Altaf. I'm doing good. How are you?
No. I have been following your channel. So instead of remembering your name, I used to remember Cloud Advocate. Thank you, sir.
Maybe I
Thank you
should.
for your valuable suggestions.
No problem, Altaf.
Since 1 year, I have been preparing this DevOps. Actually, my background is .NET developer,
Mm-hmm.
and also I'm handling that Azure DevOps on-premise server
Azure
maintenance,
DevOps.
everything. Yes,
Okay.
Azure DevOps.
Great.
So I'm creating a projects, accessing permissions, repositories, everything I'm handling. So I did some certifications for the cloud also, Azure
Mhm.
204 and 400.
Yeah.
So I need your advice. Where can I find, is there any part-time projects where I can do?
In Azure DevOps?
Yes, Azure DevOps.
You mean along with your job, you want to do part-time projects, or?
Yes, along with my job, because my infrastructure is not yet moved to cloud. So I'm missing lot of services. So I wanted to have hands-on experience on cloud side also. I did lot of labs, but I'm not satisfied only by doing labs. I want some real-time examples, case studies to do that. If you can help me to find any resources.
Upwork is one platform, Altaf. Upwork is one platform where you can. There is something called touring also,
Yeah.
where you can try. They'll give you the part-time opportunities for Azure
Okay.
DevOps. So other than that, I mean, one awesome thing is you're already in Azure, right? And you're maintaining Azure, you're managing the platform. You also have certification.
Yes,
Did
sir.
you try for the jobs outside? I'm sure there are a lot of jobs I heard on Azure DevOps.
Yes. I'm waiting for my H1B
Oh,
approval. So,
okay.
I hopefully if it approved, then we'll move to US.
Yeah, if you move to US, mark my word, you'll get the job easily. Don't worry about that. So meanwhile, just
Yeah.
practice the Azure DevOps scenarios. I mean,
Yes, sir.
whatever scenarios that you could see, because there are not. I mean, to be honest with you, there are not many companies who are having already real work on Azure DevOps yet. That's whatever I know. They are still figuring out. They're still migrating from the existing tools to Azure DevOps, using the integrated tools and all those things.
Yes.
Whatever you could do right now, you can only do from whatever the training videos that you can see, or I think Azure already has the best platform for the
Yes.
learning, right?
Yes.
Use those scenarios and keep doing that. And then when you
Yes.
go to the US and put yourself as an Azure DevOps expert, I'm sure you'll rock there.
Yeah. And one more last question, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, after going to US, how should I present myself? What are the stacks I have to present them in order to shortlist and then get through that?
Whatever stacks meaning?
Stack means Kubernetes, Terraforms. So there are hundreds of thousands of stacks are there. So I'm little bit confused. What are exactly US clients are expecting? So what should I?
No. There is nothing specifically for US or India, Altaf. What you can do is, one, obviously you have to change your resume for US. You cannot write 5-6 pages resume that you will see in India, right? You have to be very precise, and there is a format for that you will figure it out very easily once you go there. And
Yes.
second thing, since you are learning, since you are going to be in Azure only, stick to that. Don't change your service provider. And AKS is already there for Kubernetes. If you want to
Yes.
do Azure administrator certification, and then you also have Azure DevOps. So there is
Yes.
nothing else you have to do currently. Just focus and keep brushing up your skills on that. And
Yes.
if possible, again, I'm not sure. I mean, we are nobody to say this is right or wrong. If possible, try to attend some interviews here.
Okay. So online, sir, online or on the site?
Any interview. I mean, you don't have to take the job, but see if you
Yes.
can. You'll know what questions you are getting. That way, you can prepare better before you go to US.
Yeah. Sure. That would be helpful, I think so.
Yeah. All right,
Thank you,
Altaf.
sir.
Thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
you so much. Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Wish you
Bye.
the same.
Thanks. How to get H1B visa? All right. So I'm gonna take one more question from here in the chat. All right, guys. It's already late. 6 more minutes, 2 hours live, and we are done. I'm gonna take question from somebody was saying Sonu, I guess. Hey, Sonu.
Hey, hi GK. I'm sorry,
Hey,
there
sorry,
is
I
some.
could not add you because I'm seeing people who are having videos and then I'm adding them easily.
Okay, yeah, actually I have some issue with the camera. So
No problem.
I just have like one quick question. Like basically I'm working as a DevOps engineer. So in the DevOps field, like from starting I'm working as a DevOps. So I have total years of experience in the DevOps is 3+ years of experience. But the issue, like I worked on multiple tools like Docker, Kubernetes, Jenkins, and all. But
Yeah.
my issue with that, like companies, whenever I change, the issue is that I wanted to work on the cloud part, but I'm
Yeah.
not getting whenever I change the job. Basically, what is happening? That interview time I mentioned them, yeah, like I wanted to work on the cloud. They mentioned, yeah, you will get the work on hands-on experience on the cloud. But after join, there is something just opposite of it, and we are just creating some kind of a PR, and cloud team is working on that. So like I'm very like disturbed with that case of scenario. Like I'm not getting work in the cloud part. For the like cracking the interview, I worked on the AWS with like basic knowledge and all, and I did this course of the AWS cloud. But I cracked the interview, but I'm not getting after joining the company also in the cloud side. So what should I do with that?
When you are looking at the job description, are they saying like they are going to give you, or they're asking for the cloud experience?
Yeah, they asking also the question on that, but after join, this is like some basic things they provide. Like you can see the instances, you can see the VPC, but you are not able to, you not have the privileges to work on it. It's just there is a different team they hired, which is the cloud team, and they are only working on that.
Okay, yeah, this happens most of the time. So I'll tell you what happens. I mean, I don't know which company you are. You don't have to say the name. That's okay. But
Yeah.
in most of the enterprises, you have a specific cloud team, or they call it as a COE, or Cloud Center of Excellence, something like that, where they'll oversee everything that is happening in the company. And what application teams or business unit teams do is they hire DevOps engineers like you,
Hmm.
and you will have only very less control on the cloud. You only do what is specifically to your application, and then you will hand it over.
Yeah.
Let's say you write a Terraform, you create a PR for the Terraform, and then the cloud team will actually deploy that. So this is normal scenario, a typical scenario that happens everywhere. So to come
Yeah.
out of this, one thing, obviously you have two options. One option is talk to the cloud team and see if there are opportunities directly to work in the team.
Okay.
And second opportunity is switch after 6 months or 1 year, and find a job that has direct cloud opportunity. I'm sure with your experience you can easily switch, right?
Yeah. Yeah, basically I switched now. So I have multiple opportunities, but I choose the company, and after that it's backfire on me. So
How many years, how many months have you been in this company?
just recently I joined. Before that, I was in one company. Like in 3 years of experience, I changed two of companies.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a new trend now, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You can try talking to them, to the team, Sonu, or in the cloud
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Make some
Maybe
friends
I can
there.
work with them and yeah, collaboration with
Exactly.
them. Yeah.
Exactly. Collaborate, and then at least understand the scenarios that they do. That will be useful for you.
Yeah. Sure. Thank you. Thank
Okay.
you, GK. Have a
Thanks,
nice
Sonu.
day. Bye.
You too. Thanks. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna take a few more questions here, and then I'll add Kushal next. We have 2 more minutes. Kushal, Seshu, Chaudhary, and Nishant. All right. So last four. Okay, we're gonna take one more question from here. I'm working as a manual build and release engineer last 3.5 years. I'm trying to learn and switch to Azure AWS DevOps. What is the suggestions roadmap? Sridhar, I have given the roadmap for DevOps, which will also cover for AWS. I mean, there is nothing specifically for AWS DevOps. I hope that I have answered your question. Positive vibes. Haven't followed your question. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was. Okay. So what is the next one? I'm gonna take the next stream person, Kushal. Hey, Kushal.
Yeah, hi GK. Thanks for adding me.
No problem.
Hope it is audible. Yeah.
Yeah, you're
So,
audible.
so I have 10 years of experience, 10 plus years of experience. So I'm mostly into like operations part, like application support team.
Yeah.
I have knowledge about Unix, Linux admin, and
Yeah.
Dynatrace and other monitoring tools as well. And I have little bit of knowledge about Dockers, and I have done hands-on in Jenkins, like setting up of Jenkins and deploying those applications using Jenkins. Those things I have hands-on experience. But I want to know, like, as of now, my current project is in Oracle database. So mostly they will be moving either to AWS or GCP. That I'm not
Yeah.
sure. The client will decide. So I want to be like comfortable with like what should be my roadmap, or like how should I proceed, so that I'm when they move to GCP or AWS, then I'm very much comfortable, and then I can be a kind of a architect role or something like operations system admin role. What should I?
So
How should I proceed?
which cloud your company is looking towards?
That not yet decided, but mostly it will be AWS or Google Cloud, GCP.
Yeah. So then in that case, try to, because you're a strong operations person, right, Kushal? What one thing you can do is brush up if possible. If you don't like it, also try to learn at least Python coding little bit, basics.
No, I know
You have?
Python coding. Yeah,
Perfect.
because I did the Linux scripting in Python scripting only. Like I
Okay,
migrated
great,
those things.
great. So then do AWS sysops and try
Okay.
to understand the overall operations of AWS, and
Okay.
then eventually get into DevOps. So based on your experience, right, after you do these two things, eventually with your experience, then you can do essay.
Okay.
That's what I would suggest.
Okay, so I would do the AWS or sysops, and then go for the architect role.
Then DevOps. DevOps is a pro
Okay.
certification.
Okay.
sysops is
Okay.
associate.
Okay.
Right?
sysops,
And
DevOps, and then this.
And then essay, because you have how many years of experience? You said 3, right? Or 4?
No, 10 plus years.
Oh, 10 plus. Then you can also do essay. You look so
Okay.
young, so I thought you are 3 years experience guy. Then you can do essay also. I mean, or you
Okay.
can directly jump into essay. The only thing is that essay you have to learn some system design concepts and other stuff additional
Okay.
to your operations things. Those are asked more,
Okay.
So that's the only difference. That's all. Maybe you can do that as well. So if you want to do these two are the routes that you have. SA will give you obviously more jobs also. DevOps will also give you more jobs.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong here.
Okay, and I can do the same thing for Google as well, like GCP with GCP as well.
Yes. GCP DevOps is very weak in general when compared to Azure or AWS. Because GCP, they haven't figured out their deployment manager yet. They're still relying on Terraform. So why don't you start with AWS, because mostly your company will go to AWS only to start with. That's my feeling.
It seems so, but I'm not sure. Like they're because the
they might
client
even go for both. They might even go for both, but primarily what companies do is they will choose one cloud service provider as a primary provider, and then they will use the another cloud service provider as an additional for some services.
Okay, because they have
but they will never go for both usually.
Okay, because they have chosen one. Like I think they have chosen as Google Cloud as their premium partner
Primary?
or something. Yeah,
Oh,
partner.
then do that ops thing for the GCP then.
Okay.
Whichever is the primary, do work on that.
Okay.
But
so I
given your
need to
experience,
get that. I need to get that info that who is their premium partner. I have heard it's Google, but I will get it confirmed so that I can do that accordingly.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you
Thanks,
very much
Vishal.
for the info. Yeah.
Nice talking
Nice
to you.
talking to you.
Bye. All right, guys. So solid 2 hours. I'll take few more questions. Think from chat. This is like never ending. Okay. I have 10 years of experience in manual testing. Planning to learn DevOps. Please provide your advice for my journey. Satish, even if you're from QA, the roadmap is same. Please follow my roadmap video for DevOps from manual testing and start studying for DevOps. Okay, I'm gonna take Nishant. Did I take Nishant already? Hey, Nishant. Okay, I think.
Hello.
Hey, Nishant, did I speak to you already?
Yes, my mic was not working.
Oh, okay. Now it is working.
Yeah, yes, fortunately. I'm a DBA by profile, and I have
Okay.
6 years of experience.
Okay.
And I saw your video that how I switched to DevOps and I started learning AWS and Python scripting.
Yeah.
And I want to switch to DevOps. My question is, the companies will consider me as a fresher, or they will consider my DBA experience too while offering me the package?
They will consider your DB experience too. The only difference is that they will consider your whole IT experience, which is also important for a DevOps engineer, right? And then
Okay.
relevant experience is what you have to put in your project, which they
Uh,
will ask.
the relevant experience will be the issue because we are not using DevOps or any kind of cloud services as of now in my organization. But I have done
You
some
see,
certifications.
yeah. So see, everybody will come into this tricky situation, right? One company will not provide them the opportunity to work on DevOps, so you cannot put DevOps project or experience.
Correct.
But your whole IT experience will definitely work. And the only way to get away from this is, like I've said in my videos, that if you can switch internally in the company by doing certification, that's the best case scenario. If there's an opportunity in any other team, in your cloud team or DevOps team. Or the second best way is, obvious way, the only way is, you would do some POCs given your teammate. Let's say you come up with some scenario in the current application team, or you create that POC. Nobody's asking you to do it, but you create by yourself. You gain some experience, and you will tell them, like, this was the POC that I've done in the interview,
Okay,
because you
you
have
mean
genuinely done that.
I should make some scenarios that, and I should convince them that I have done this and this, and the issue was this.
Yes. I mean, one is straight away saying something you haven't done, or the second
Correct.
best thing is that you have done something given a scenario, or you have done a POC by yourself, and then you can straight away say that, okay, in this project, I have done this POC, and this is how it worked. And then, like I've said again, right, the first question is only the tricky question, like what you have done. The next question is always the technical questions. So nobody is going to reject you because of you haven't answered the first question. They'll follow up with a lot of technical questions. If you can convince them with your experience and with your knowledge of certifications, then they will definitely hire you. That's how people change from different technologies, right? Else everybody is a fresher whenever they switch.
Yes, and I just completed my Oracle Cloud Solution Architect certification, and I'm planning for
Oracle Cloud.
AWS Cloud as well. Yeah, because
Yeah,
thanks
Oracle
to
Cloud.
the free vouchers.
Yeah, Oracle Oracle Cloud, not many opportunities, Nishant.
Okay, that's only was my concern. I think I will go with the first option, that I have to convince them by
Correct.
creating scenarios.
Yeah, see if you
Thank you. So
can
nice to
do
talk to you.
those POCs. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Nishant.
And I will
Hey,
connect you
one.
to LinkedIn.
Yeah, one suggestion. I think, again, this is for everybody. If I create a GitHub or some page, can you guys contribute your scenarios, your company scenarios also, so that we can create one big database of scenarios based on your work experience, and then share it with others? Because this is one, I think, common question everybody is having or facing, like what DevOps engineers do.
Yes, it will be very helpful to us.
Okay, I'll come up with that GitHub page. I'll completely open source it. No cost, nothing, no pricing or anything. You guys can own it and contribute.
Thank you so much.
All right, Nishant, thanks.
Thank you.
Yep, bye. Okay, I'll take some questions from here. GK, no technical background, but I want to change career path. Should I learn AWS and it is possible to me? Yes, it is possible, Rahul. Don't expect me to say it won't be. It is not possible, it's impossible. I'm gonna take one more person from the stream yard here. Hey, Mohan Babu.
Hi. Thanks
Hey.
for adding me.
No problem. Oh, I think you have some issue with your device. It says device is not connected. Let me add you back. 1 second.
Okay.
Hey, Mohan Babu.
So
Yeah, there was
now
an issue with you. Yeah, now we can hear you.
now it's fine. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think okay. So actually, I started learning your courses means that you have certain the YouTube videos. So career paths. So I just completed Linux one, and now I
Okay.
started going with AWS one, AWS practice. So suddenly, because my background is Azure background, so Azure administration I am doing. So my
Yeah.
my suddenly thought come into my mind is like, shall I go with Azure DevOps or AWS DevOps? So that is the confusion in mind.
Azure DevOps.
Just I want to
Mohan
suggest
Babu.
yes, yeah.
I would suggest Azure DevOps.
Azure DevOps. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good point that you are suggesting. So Azure
Yeah,
DevOps,
because
how differed from AWS? Because as you said, Azure DevOps, it has complete thing in the same one single tool, right?
Correct.
So like we no need to go for any other secondary tool to
Correct.
independently invent into that. So like that.
Yes.
So
Correct.
is it fine to learn complete DevOps, or shall I additionally learn Git and likewise Docker Kubernetes to integrate with that?
So when you're learning Azure DevOps, you will learn Git obviously, right? And then you will
Okay.
learn
Yeah.
how to create the boards and those things and deployment and all those things. If you learn
Okay.
additionally AKS, that will be a huge advantage.
Okay. Okay.
AKS.
Oh, AKS.
Yeah,
Okay.
AWS
Okay.
you don't have to worry, right? Because you're heavily from Azure background. Why do you want to deviate unnecessarily?
Okay. Okay. So yeah, past 6 years experience, almost 3 years I'm working with Azure administration only. Yeah. Okay. Then better
That's great
I
then.
would go with
Yeah. Please. Azure DevOps.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, GK.
Thank you, Mohan Babu.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, I'm gonna take one more question from chat. Asset management. What are your views? Can software asset management? That's a very niche area. I don't know Anshul, to be honest with you. I think I have answered this question just now. Azure DevOps versus AWS DevOps. Which one do you suggest to pick for a beginner who is interested in general, learn for a fresher or for a beginner? Having holistic understanding of DevOps tools will obviously help when compared to the Azure DevOps specifically. Because if you're a pro, like Mohan Babu said, he's basically from Azure DevOps, then it makes a lot of sense to go into that. But otherwise, you can learn the general DevOps tools. All right, guys. So I'm gonna end this session in a few more minutes, please, so that we can. Hey, Dheeraj.
Hey GK, what's up? I'm a big fan. First of all, I'm following you like since 1 year,
Oh,
and
thank you.
you look like Sundar Pichai.
So thanks. How many subscribers did I had in last 1 year? I don't remember.
Yeah, actually, I'm following your roadmap, and I was inspired. I was inspired from your journey. Like you were saying, like it was 8.7 lakh per annum, and
Yeah.
then you always look like gestures, and then this to this. Okay, so I have joined an institute, which reputed institute, and my background is like I'm administrator. Like I had an data center, and there I was working with the Linux, Microsoft Windows admin, and virtualization kind of thing. So I have joined a Jetking, I have joined a Jetking Institute. So since like 8 or 9 months. So I am
What
teaching
is
there
that?
like Python. Jetking
Jetking.
Infotech Limited. It's an institute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you might know. Yeah.
Okay.
So I teach there like Python, Windows Administrator, Linux. Yeah. So what I need
Okay.
to do, I quickly want to switch my career to the DevOps.
From training, right?
Yeah, right now I'm technical like I'm right now a technical trainer. So like you had mentioned that you were working with the Adureka. So I was
I
inspiring
worked.
from your journey. Then I joined Adureka. I
I
still remember. Yeah, so I have
I
joined
wo-
as a
I
technical trainer. Within 15 days, I got a job into like as a trainer. So I want to be like you. So what I need to do? How you
so
switch from
the only
Adureka to DevOps engineer?
in Dheeraj, the only misunderstanding is I did EduRec as a part time, not full time.
Okay, so I'm a full time technical trainer right now. So I just want to switch my career from as a trainer to DevOps. That's it. So what I need to do?
It's like you have to do like how others do when they are from non technical to technical or from teaching to DevOps, right? Because
No, I was with an industry. I was with an industry. So since 8 months, I'm doing as a technical trainer job.
oh, okay, then you have real IT
Yes, yes,
experience.
yes, real time or for 6 years.
Oh, then you can prepare your resume, right, Dheeraj, as a DevOps engineer.
Yes. Yes. So, but what else I need to learn? Like Python, Linux, CCNA, networking, Windows
No,
admin.
not
I
CCNA.
already know.
No, not CCNA.
Okay.
I mean, if you know it is good, but
Yeah.
Python, Linux. Have you looked at my roadmap by any
Yeah.
chance?
Yeah.
DevOps roadmap.
Yeah.
So you have Python,
Yes.
Linux, and then
Yes.
you
AWS
have
AWS solution architect.
no. It's up to you. Doesn't have to be AWS Solutions Architect. Can be SysOps or whatever, and then
Okay.
one cloud certification, right?
Okay.
And Terraform is important. Ansible
Okay.
is people still are asking, but it is not that mandatory when compared to before. And
Okay.
then containers, one container platform, CKA certification is important, and
Okay.
that's it. Have these and go to the prepare your resume. You should be fine.
Okay. So you didn't mention that you were working as a part-time trainer in Adureka.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Actually, you didn't mention that you were a part-time trainer at
Oh
Adureka.
no
So
no.
I was thinking that
So when I did that
like I still
video, I
remember.
said, yeah, I'll explain you. I'm sorry if I have confused you there. When I was explaining in
Okay.
that video, I said that I always have a sidekick, side project. So as a side
Okay.
project, I was working I taught people in Edureka. So the reason why I said that was that when you teach people, you can easily learn stuff,
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
that's
You
the whole
you were
intention.
absolutely right. So I still know a lot of questions when student ask me like what is this, what is it, and then I get confused and like I learn all the thing and then explain to students.
Yeah, I stopped learning now because I'm not teaching. I guess I have to start teaching again.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to switch my career to the DevOps, and I will definitely I'm going to see all the roadmap and whatever. If you uh, uh, you are just great.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, my friend, I have to remove you now and then take few more questions.
Sure. Thank you so much. Sure.
Thanks. Bye, Dheeraj. All right, I'm gonna take RK. Hey, RK. Nice
Hi,
setup.
hi, GK. This is RK.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been long time actually I thought of talking to you, but so I did not get a chance to talk with you earlier. So yeah, now I'm using this platform so to ask my questions and all. So
Awesome.
yeah, I'm having around 14 years of experience. I'm into QA.
Same as mine. We both are same.
Yeah. So yeah, initially I was into development. Slowly I moved
Okay.
to automation testing. From there to manual
Okay.
testing. Later
Oh.
I completely moved to, and unknowingly just I moved to completely into QA. So now
Okay.
I'm trying to come out of that QA part actually. So
Manual
I'm not,
QA, right?
sorry, I didn't get
Manual
you.
QA? Manual
Yeah,
QA?
currently I'm not doing QA. Also, I'm just managing the team, basically manager
You're
almost.
a manager. Awesome. Okay.
So yeah, now I just want to get rid of that stuff, and so I wanted to work on cloud part actually. So from past 6 months, yeah, it's been more than 6 months. So I'm just learning all the DevOps related stuff as well as cloud. Okay, now my confusion. So I'm just confusing here. What my confusion is here? I'm learning DevOps as well as a cloud thing. So how where should I go? Get into DevOps or into cloud solution architect or solutions engineer kind of stuff. So I'm confused actually. Where do I fit perfectly?
Yeah, one suggestion that I give is this is a normal misconception, RK. So when people learn cloud, right, they think that cloud and DevOps have to learn separately. So, but what usually happens is when you go for a DevOps role anywhere, you know, they will by default ask cloud questions because the expectation is that DevOps engineer should also know cloud because all
Right.
the automation, everything that you do on cloud. No more you're
Yeah.
doing it on on-premise.
Yes, yes.
So previously, DevOps engineers used to do on-premise, like 2011, 12, still 13, 14, probably. People used to write a lot of Ansible scripts on-premise infrastructure because Ansible was born out of on-premise infrastructure to solve this problem there, you know. But eventually now what is happening is all the automation is happening on cloud. So you are not doing anything wrong. You have to learn cloud as part of DevOps. In fact, it is subset of DevOps, the whole cloud. So since you're a manager, if you want to continue as a manager and be a digital leader, that's not a bad option at all. If you want to take that route instead of getting into hands-on.
Okay. So here my take would be get into solutions architect. So what do you say? Is it a right
Solutions.
choice? Yeah.
Given your experience, 14 years of experience, right? You can get into solutions architect, but in solutions architect, it is like jack of all trades, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You know, essay they will ask about architecting, system designing, you know, bit of coding, not heavy coding, and then DevOps tools, and then security. Your automation experience will definitely help. Your coding experience will also definitely help. So all these things together, it's not a bad option at all. You can try.
Okay. So yeah.
Okay.
So simultaneously, I'm learning AWS as well as GCP. I don't know where to put
GCP together.
So yeah, stepping into two boats at a time and traveling. So I don't know.
That is tough, RK.
Sorry.
That is tough.
That is tough, but yeah, I don't know. So I thought of checking which one is actually. See, initially when I started with AWS, okay, GCP picking up the momentum. So I thought, so it is drastically actually capturing the market, right? So why can't we learn GCP? So like that, so I moved to GCP now. So currently GCP, I'm just going through GCP stuff now. But it helps me actually. Whatever the concepts I learned as part of AWS, no, it's actually giving help. But here and there, the terminology is different, but almost like more or less both are same only. Yeah.
Correct. Both are interchangeable. All the services are same. I mean, names are different. They almost implement the same concepts. I mean, that's how I have learned GCP after learning AWS.
Okay.
Same like you.
Okay, when I joined as a fresher, okay, I was into production support.
Me too.
What a coincidence. So I was how the load balancing works and all. So slowly after getting 2 years, 3 years of experience, I moved as a senior software engineer there. So they handed over me to building installation. So like a little bit of virtualization. So that time we used to use that what do you call I forgot that VMware. Yeah, we used to use VMware technologies and ESX. So I got good knowledge on that, but suddenly I moved to development. So see, I became jack of all now. I think because from past 10 years I was in QA, but I thought of again getting into the cloud architecture. I want to experience the work. So now only I'm managing the people, but I want to get into the real stuff now. So
why not take that manager route itself or become senior manager, director for cloud digital transformation?
Okay.
I mean, something like that. I don't know. I'm just throwing some more ideas to confuse you.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, but I'm seeing all the options. But the thing is, no, I'm not wasting the time, but I'm just going through the journals. I'm going through the white. I mean,
That is good thing. At least you're doing something.
Yes, not something, many things. So the word you said, no, jack of all. Yeah, currently that's what going on. Okay.
I've been doing that since a lot of years. I don't know how many. I also have changed a lot of technologies. Sometimes I feel like now I want to become front-end developer. Suddenly, I'm getting this obsession that I want to become front-end developer.
Oh.
I was telling my friend other day, like I want to learn Angular JS and start writing, front-end applications. But it
Oh.
is tough. After now I'm becoming old, so it is tough, right? When you have kids and it's not easy.
True. Yeah, I'm going through the same phase, so I can understand.
All right, RK, nice talking to you.
Yeah. Wish you good luck. Thank for your time. Actually, contributing 1 hour, 2 hours of your weekend time for us. No, it's not a joke. Okay, big thanks for you. Okay.
Thank you,
So
RK. Thank you.
The same from you going forward. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, RK. Thanks.
Yeah. Bye, GK.
Bye. Okay, Gangadhar has said that I'm getting sleep. It's almost 9:30. So we'll take a few more questions from here. What do you think about Azure administration? Azure administration is awesome. Don't think about it. Just go. If you are planning to go, I'll take one more stream question and then. Okay, we have 4 minutes. I'll try to answer as much as I can. All right, Revant. Hey, Revant.
Hi, GK.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, I'm currently working as a AWS DevOps, but I want to move to USA in 2 or 3 years. But I see Indian market are using some other tools and USA market are using another tools. Like Jenkins, they are using a GitLab or a Bamboo something. If I move to USA, can I find Jenkins stuff? I'm
Sorry,
finding more.
which one you said? Like which tools USA is using differently from India?
Jenkins, they are using more in GitLab or Bamboo something.
Jenkins, who is using more here or in US?
In India, they are using
Jenkins.
Yeah.
I'll give you I'll give you an example, right? So what happens is that, like I was saying in some other here only to some other guy. So USA first in these tools they come up. Obviously, the implementation starts from there. You're exactly right in that perspective. So though Jenkins has 70% of market share, lot of companies are moving towards GitLab and GitHub Actions, and there is a reason for that, right? Most of the GitOps and all these buzzwords that you see, they are all moving towards Git. Even the CI is moving towards Git. So these are only slight adjustments, but the rest of the major tools are pretty much still, Kubernetes and all these things are still there, Revant. You don't have to worry too much about it. But since you already know that, Git is getting slowly replaced, or Git CI, GitLab CI is getting slowly replaced by Jenkins, or it might replace in next 1 year. It's good that you have awareness of that and you can start learning that.
Thank you, JK, for telling. Thank you.
No problem. So focus more on GitLab CI, and then GitHub Actions is pretty much similar to that.
Yeah, okay. Bye, JK.
All right, everyone. Thanks. Bye. Okay, I'm taking. I think I spoke to Ranjit. Hey, Divyansh. I think you're speaking on mute. Okay, I'm gonna take one more question from Chandra.
Hello.
Hey, Chandra. Oops. All right, AG. Let's go.
Hello.
Hey, AG.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm also doing good. Actually, I was a network engineer.
Okay.
Like I had 3 years of experience. I am a 2017 pass out.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, after network engineering, currently I have done a course on DevOps for 6 months. I am practicing. Like I have experience of 6 months. Currently, in the job market, they are asking for at least 3 to 4 years of experience.
Yeah.
So I am doing interview, putting the 3 to 4 years experience in resume. Yeah. So I know almost like all the DevOps tools, AWS, shell scripting, Linux. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So is it going to work for me, like this kind of thing, like having 6 months of experience and
So
showing
your
4 years?
overall IT is 4 years, right?
Yeah, overall IT, including the network engineering, I have 4 years of experience, more than 4 years.
That should definitely help. I mean, I'm not sure like if somebody told you that it won't work.
Yeah, like in DevOps, like I know GitHub, Maven, Ansible, Terraform, Jenkins,
Ansible,
uh,
Terraform,
Kub,
Jenkins, GitHub are same.
yeah,
What else?
yeah, Kubernetes,
Okay.
Docker, yeah, monitoring tools like Nagios, CloudWatch,
Nice. Yeah. You're good, man.
yeah.
Then just apply. Just go and apply for the jobs.
Yeah, I'm applying and I have applied and I'm doing interviews. They are asking so many interviewers are asking about the scripting part more.
What kind of
Like
scenarios are they asking?
whatever their requirement they will be asking those kind of questions. Like
Example,
if they are
like yeah.
like shell scripting,
Yeah.
Groovy.
Do you remember any interview on the shell scripting? I mean, do you remember any question on the shell scripting by any chance, so that we can share with
Yeah,
people?
one interviewer asked like copying the data from server A to server C.
Mm.
Yeah, this was one of the question.
Copying, that is easy question, right?
Yeah, but
And what else?
again, one more thing is in SCP and
Yeah.
sync. That question, one of the question was that.
I mean, SCP is getting replaced now. Nobody is going to use SCP. But yeah. So basically, AG, like I've said, right? You have to expect some basic scripting questions in DevOps interviews. That's given. You cannot. I mean, most of the companies do that.
Yeah, after getting the job, do you think that I will be surviving, like having this kind of situation?
I mean, why not, right? These are basic shell scripting questions. If it is Python or some some tough questions, I understand. But otherwise, shell scripting and all are basic, AG. Try to practice them before interview.
Yeah, sure. Actually, I had learned Python also, Python Selenium also, but because of the career growth, I have chosen I chose DevOps AWS.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, AG. I think you're all set, man. Just practice some basic shell scripting.
Yeah, sure. Only shell scripting or any other things do?
Python, if possible. If not, that's it.
Yeah,
I
sure,
mean,
sure.
sorry, Python and shell.
Yeah, Python shell, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least
Yeah,
shell. At least
thanks.
shell.
Yeah, RK, thanks.
Okay. Thank you, AG. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. Always. What do the first 1 to 3 months in DevOps look like? When you join a company as a DevOps engineer, depending on the experience you have, always. Let's say when a 4 years experience guy joins, what they'll do is they already have predefined tasks that a person has to do. Again, this is very, I mean, based out of my experience, because it might vary from company to company. So they'll ask you to integrate. Most commonly these days, they're asking everybody to write Terraform scripts, integration of Jenkins, writing the integration scripts, or deploying services on cloud. Sometimes they might even ask you to set up monitoring alerts on the services, because once the company are maturing into, or once they are matured DevOps company, then they will have to do their routine tasks, which they will expect as a DevOps engineer you to do as well. But first 1 to 3 months, they'll ask you to write, write the work on the existing tasks. Hope that answers the question. Real life challenge. Okay, this is one more question I'm going to take. Real life challenge during DevOps job. I think the real life challenge that I personally have faced is the understanding of tools. Like for example, Kubernetes is so freaking deep, and it has too many moving parts. In certain situation, if I get an error in Kubernetes, I have to debug a lot, understand that a lot. The ingress controller, it throws a lot of weird issues fixing that, and sometimes the platform itself doesn't support, or GKE doesn't support everything. So those are some of the scenarios. For DevOps engineer, the challenge is working on different tools that the person is not aware of, and then coming up with a solution, because you'll have 100 solutions for each, or more solutions for one certain situation. So that's the challenge. Do you provide training and placement? I'm trying to think if I want to. I mean, possibly I will see if I can provide some training. I'm contemplating that. Is Terraform mandatory? Yes. There was Chandra here who have dropped before. Okay. All right. So who is waiting? I'm gonna add Ranjit. Hey Ranjit. Ranjit.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for adding me, first of all.
Pleasure is mine.
I have a few doubts to rectify over the counseling on this call. I'm working as a cloud admin, and I'm having an experience of around 3 years. Overall experience I have around 8 to 9 years, and I'm working in IaaS platform in cloud and in AWS side, where I have invoked some of the DevOps tools also, like Docker, Kubernetes, and Ansible.
Yeah.
And I will be talking actually, especially with you in my lacking, where exactly I'm getting lack. The problem is like when anything comes into automation, like on any scenarios, like I can give you an example. Like we want a bunch of server to be shut down at one specific time frame, or for the disaster recovery purpose, we want the data to be moved from one region to another region with help of
Yeah.
different services. So on that time, or any kind of a deployment, if you say in pod or in any containerization, so the time when we required to make a script, or when we required to write down a code to make the stuff automate, so I'm getting lack in that place. Like I have tried to going through with many document, like Python, or like a shell scripting, or like Ruby, with many scripting, but and at the end of the time I'm losing those interest, and again I am facing the same problem while doing this stuff to automate. So what is the best exercise, if you can suggest me, that how can I achieve that part to make the things automate easily with out of this coding languages?
I think, is it because of sorry, there is a lot of background from your side, Ranjit.
Can you hear me now?
No, you're fine, but I'm hearing my own voice.
Okay, okay. So like is it audible?
Yeah, it is audible. But I
Okay,
can
so
still hear the echo.
okay.
I mean, because what happens is when people replay this video, they'll hear my voice again. No, I think it is better
Oh,
now.
I see.
Oh
Okay,
shit! I'm
so
sorry. I'm hearing it again. So I'll do one thing, Ranjit. I'll try to answer your question while you're on mute. Okay, and then if that still doesn't answer your question, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn or Instagram.
fine, no problem, no problem.
Okay, so couple of things, right? One thing that I've understood is that whenever there is a situation where you cannot solve it over tool, if you have to code, you are struggling there and you're getting frustrated, uh, because probably one, you're not very good with basic scripting or coding. Is that right, Ranjit?
Absolutely.
Okay. And second, one follow-up question I have is it because you could not achieve the same solution with the tool that you had to write the Python script or shell script?
Yes, that's right.
So these are the common scenarios, right? In DevOps. I mean, we like it or not, we have to come up with some custom scripts end of the day, because all the tools might not solve. Most, like, I would say 80% of the time you would have tools that will solve the problem for you or the situation for you. Like for example, Terraform, 90% you don't have to write any custom stuff. Like Ansible, same 80%, probably 20% you still have to write modules for that. Jenkins, you have to write scripts in Jenkins because you're going to integrate a shell script or Python in your Jenkins job to do the job. And GitHub Actions, you might have to write some some code at some point. But so the best way to deal with this, Ranjit, is one, don't freak out about this scripting. It's not that difficult what you might think, especially shell scripting, right? Is that something you want to put some effort to learn, or
To be honest with you, I really want a guidance over here to pick up any one of the scripting which will make very helpful for me to make the stuff automated. And I want that particular script to be taken off from my end, where I can use it in each and every scenarios, even if it is Kubernetes, if it is Docker, if it is Jenkins, if it is AWS services, any services, like which will be helpful. It shouldn't be like a stagnant, like, no, without Python I can't do that, or without Ruby I can't do that. I want I want to know which code, which shell, which scripting should I go ahead, which will be helpful for me in each and every area.
if you want me to suggest you one thing, then I would suggest you Python.
Sorry, can you come up again?
No, if you want me to suggest one programming language, then I would suggest you Python.
Okay, okay.
99% it will solve all the scenarios wherever the tools are not able to help you.
Okay, okay, I got it. I got it. So, okay, they're actually okay. I got the answer of my question.
Ranjit, I
To be
think we can
honest with you.
have a follow-up on our LinkedIn or somewhere, because a lot of people are waiting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. No problem. No problem. No
All
problem.
right, Ranjit,
Actually,
nice
this is
talking to
what
you.
was my only question. Thank you. Thank you,
Okay,
James. Thank
thanks.
you.
Yeah, bye. All right, folks. So one question from the chat and one question from the stream here, please. That's all for today. I'm gonna take one question from Revant. Hope we meet soon. Sure. I'm gonna take this easy question. Balu, Azure DevOps or AWS DevOps? Which one is better? Azure DevOps, as far as DevOps is concerned. And then the other question was from Ashutosh. I'm getting interview call from HR, but my resume is not shortlist. Is it due to my CV missing in Kubernetes? Probably yes, because K8s are commonly asked. But again, look at the job description, Ashutosh, of that company, and then you can compare with what you have in your resume. Okay, so let's go to one more person from stream, and that would be all for this weekend. Hello, Divya. think if you're speaking on mute.
Hi, sir. This is Divya. I just
There you
wanted to know, like, currently I'm working as a network engineer.
go. Mhm.
I have learned Python and I'm into the Linux also. So I just wanted to know, either to go with the developer side or with the DevOps side. So which is better for me?
I cannot say for 100% like what you would like, but do you prefer development more or operation support more?
Uh, as per my knowledge, I'm thinking like developer is good, but I think we will be having always stress or something. If it is the DevOps side, we can learn some tools and we'll be keep on working on it. And if any issues comes and we have to troubleshoot something in the same tool, we'll be learning something. Or um, like I'm just thinking in that way. So which is better?
As far as stress is concerned, it will be stressful even in the DevOps side. Let's say you are on the operation side and there is a P1 issue. You have to fix something. You're in the middle of a movie and then somebody is calling you. That's also a stressful thing. So there is not like IT in general is becoming stressful in many areas. I mean, so there is few jobs could be less stressful, or it depends on the role. To be honest with you, but don't just consider that factor alone. So because look, your experience or your liking towards either development or support would make you to enjoy and accept that stress instead of going by that factor alone. Hope that is helpful what I'm saying. Like for example,
Okay.
you want to learn, you want to become a developer, right?
Yes.
You can take more stress when compared to a support role, because ultimately you'll feel like, why did I get into support? I did not know that this will be this stressful, or people will call me like this and ask me to do some job which is more important.
Okay. In the DevOps side, is there anything like if you learn the tools and all, will it be okay or anything? Will you have to keep on like every day, every each different tasks? Like, do we have to always dig our mind like to think the to solve the issues and all? It's like that, or if you just learn the tools, we can find out the solutions by using the tools.
No, so tools are only to help you to solve a problem, but you have to choose the right tool as a DevOps engineer and right solution, right flow to solve that.
Okay.
Okay. And DevOps engineer can also be sometimes stressful because not every time you would know the tool.
Yeah, correct. Okay, I'm in the starting stage, so which is better for me? Like, which tool is good for going to the DevOps side?
Oh, so
So,
can you please look at my roadmap, Divya? Because there are, if you want me to pick 3 tools, then I would pick Terraform,
okay,
Git,
okay,
if you want to consider Git as a tool, and then one cloud certification.
okay, sure.
Okay.
Thank you so
And
much. Yeah,
Kubernetes.
thank
Sorry, 4 tools. 4. I'll take your
okay, okay, cool.
liberty to add one more tool.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Okay. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining the live. And I would sincerely, from bottom of my heart, thank you all for supporting me to reach 100,000 subscribers. I'll have a new raffle that I'm going to have for thanking you all for the milestone. And I'm also thinking about creating a new course or live based course on one specific platform, so that, like for example, I want to come up with a course on AWS or Azure. Instead of Udemy, I want to do it live to an extent, and then also have recorded sessions. And I want to do that at an affordable price. So I'll talk to you guys more about that, and I'll post it on the community section, asking your input. How much should I price accordingly, so that everybody can join, right from fresher to to experienced person. Thank you all for joining this live, and I hope I have tried to answer all your questions. If you missed anything, please go back to this video and replay. You would pretty much get all the answers for your questions. Thanks again. Take care. If you're joining this from India, have a good night. And if you're joining this from US or somewhere, have a good rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.